Right, hello. Welcome to the stream. Almost didn't get my words out there. How's everybody doing? It's good to see you. Oh my god, I'm happy it's Friday. The weekend is upon us. Jacked, it's upon us. How's everybody doing out there in the land of the interwebs? We're doing good. You guys had a good week. Probably better than mine, that's for sure. I hope you've had a good one. It is good to see you guys as well. Quick plug, I did upload a video earlier today. We're back on getting videos out. Check it out. Link is pinned in both chats actually, so you can check that out. It's much appreciated. We're gonna play some Wuthering Waves today. Probably play through well, we'll at least start the story quests and start cracking into 1.3. Basically, we need to get to the Black Shores to start leveling up Shorekeeper because the mats are over there, aren't they? And at the moment we can't do anything with that. We got Shorekeeper pulled, we got a weapon, and that's kind of all we did yesterday, really. Yeah, pretty much watched some videos, did that, pulled that, leveled up a little bit. I think I've leveled a weapon up to 80, I want to say. I don't think we've maxed it out. So a little bit to do on that, and we need to do some mat farming as well because I'm kind of low on like some mats that we need at the moment. So yeah, we'll do some 1.3, well, what we can anyway. We'll react to a couple of videos first, check out some stuff. What's going on, Equinox? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? We're doing the story. Yes, plan to dabble in a little bit of the story today, at least get it started anyway. You looks whack. Why? Tell me about it. Tell me about it. That's why I'm glad I had the guarantee. I'm not gonna lie, because yeah, I felt it wasn't gonna be a good time. Wasn't gonna be a good time. So I do plan to try and stream again this evening. I do want to get live again. I'm not 100% sure though, because Throne of Liberty's out, and I've been waiting to play that game for a while. I didn't get to play it on day one because the servers was just a shitstorm, and obviously I haven't been well this week. Got food poisoning the weekend, so I just wasn't up for sitting around in freaking server queues and trying to get the game up and running. But I've installed it for Rosie as well, because she said she wants to play it as well. So I might stream with Rosie. We might play that together. Or it could just be me playing it. Or I might just play with Rosie offline, and we could stream something else later. But I'm thinking about double dipping this evening. And Rosie's actually going to see her mum and dad tomorrow. Because they've got a caravan in, I think it's in Wales, and she's been saying for ages about going down. And I was thinking about going myself at one point, like, because we're supposed to be going down, but like I still ain't feeling great, so I think Rosie's just going to go and see her mum and dad for the day. So tomorrow, the entirety of tomorrow, it'll be like a boys home alone day. So United, I think, play Sunday, don't they? Let me just double check. Yes, that's Sunday. Man United play Villa, so I don't even know if I want to watch it. So tomorrow we'll have like some free time to just play some video games and stuff as well. So we'll be streaming tomorrow. We'll probably start off with, like, you know, some gacha games and stuff. We'll probably move on to playing some like Deadlock and maybe some Throne and Liberty, depending. Seeing what Rosie wants to do about that anyway. Because I've been having an itching for some Throne and Liberty, I'm not gonna lie. I got Shorekeeper from a random single when I was getting extra weapons from a weapon XP. And when I tried to pull a copy from Temples for Shorekeeper and get her, and I got her from another single. Oh shit, that ain't whack. So what, you got her in, like, you got her a C1 in, like, what, under 20 pulls between each of her? That's not too shabby at all. Not too shabby at all, if you ask me. Alright, let me see what we've got to check out today, because there was some videos yesterday that I wanted to get through that we didn't get through, actually, wasn't there? Let me have a little look here, what we can check out. See, I want to have a look at this Duet Night Abyss reveal. We'll watch Styx's condensed version of it, because I don't want to go through the entire video, because the ones I've actually tried to watch for Duet Night Abyss, they were like, I think they were CN streams, and they didn't have any captions either, so I didn't know what the hell was going on. We've got a video that I was going to check out from Legion Gacha as well, talking about 1.3 for ZZZ. Although, we haven't even touched 1.2 yet, which we've got to get around to doing. And then, what else did we want to check out? Actually, there's another video that I did want to check out yesterday. We never got round to, did we? Can't remember which one it was. That was it. Let's talk about the countless gacha game scams. I was interested in watching that one as well. That was it's a 20-minute video though, so I didn't want to watch it yesterday after we watched a couple of videos. They removed the Nanami Easter egg, which is... Oh, did they? I wonder why they did that then. I didn't even get a chance to see it. That's good, Tim. Oh man, it'd be so cool if we actually got a crossover. Oops, I missed my gym payment. Well, I'm stupid. I've got 2 gyms. Like, I go to one that I go to training. I've got another one that I go for swimming. It's got a swimming pool. I must have missed my payments. I have to sort that out later. I've got to go through and sort out all my tax stuff as well for YouTube, man. It sucks. Even though I'm in the UK, I have to run my taxes. We've got a treaty with America, though, in the UK. So I don't have to pay any extra taxes, but I have to run the stuff through every 3 years, I think. So, annoying. Tried to do it the other day, but I was missing some of the information. So I tried to go through some of the government websites over here to get the information. And then after going through all the stuff, the government website, we can't verify that it's you. It's like, fuck me, man. So that was a fun time. Yes, I agree. They really could, some of them come over to Wuthering Waves, to be fair. I'd love to see Liv as well, I'm not gonna lie. I think Lucia, especially Crimson Weave, could come over. Hold up a second here. I think, don't you reckon Bianca Stigmata as well could, Stigmata, however you want to pronounce it? I think she'd look pretty dope in a PGR as well. I think she'd suit. I think she's got a Wuthering Waves type kind of look as well. Yeah, I would like to see, I would really like to see a PGR WuWa crossover. I think it'd work. I think it would work. Bring over some of that music as well, man. I'm here for it. Definitely, I agree. Some of the character designs would fit right into the universe. Yeah, guys, once again, I did upload a video earlier. You should check it out. Shout out to everybody who's been watching the video as well. I know I only got a couple up this week, actually, but the Honkai Open World video, that one did alright, actually. It's in over 1,000 views now, so shout out to everybody who watched that. Appreciate you. Give me a second here, and then we'll get into it. I just need to check something here. Yeah, I'll probably get that video up tomorrow, I'm thinking. Well, we've got a Zenly Zone Zero 1.3 video that we might watch. It might upload tomorrow. But I'm thinking about getting that Sensor Tower video up maybe tomorrow. Just because everybody's talking about it. And I thought, you know, we may as well get the video up. Because I think, for the most part, you know, there are some sensible heads prevailing in talking about the actual specifics of not just why they assume the revenue might be low in regards to the updates, but more about the actual fact of the matter of the game in general, and it not really being the best game for mobile. Because I fundamentally believe that, and I don't think the Sensor Tower revenue, even if it was incredibly accurate, will ever represent massive numbers for WuWa. I just don't think it will. I just don't think it will. But yeah, like, people are either on the fence of, like, I mean shit, and other people putting all their eggs into the basket, and yeah, I thought we'd put that video up, because trying to take a bit more of a nuanced view, really, a little bit more down the middle, and looking at it for what it is, and that it's not something that should be totally ignored, but it's not something to be dwelled on too much either, because I think people are either just completely ignore it, or that they take it as a gospel, don't they? Oh, Noctis. I feel like you could trick some people into thinking it was maybe Scar. Oh, I've got a Premiere Pro still open. Oh, bad. Let me close that down. I think we will. I think we will potentially. Obviously, this is because of some of the leaks I've heard, and I just think it would make sense because we don't have one. That round about 2.1, somewhere there in or after, I think we'll probably get a 5-star gun user. Because I think, one, we don't have it. Two, it'll be a bit of variety in the character. And I think the game kind of needs it as well. I think just in terms of a variety of play styles, actually making the ranged meta of the game a little bit more relevant. And I know there are people out there that play range characters, and there's people who, you know, like, will use them for, like, for more core content, or even harder content, if you will. But they're definitely, you know, that they are kind of slipping in the rest of the game, aren't they? So yeah, I agree. It would be cool to see that, and I think post 2.0, I think we'll probably see something like that. So hopefully we don't have to wait too long. Again, though, for me, they need to sell me on it, man. They need to sell me on it. They're gonna have to show me off some gameplay and explain the gun user through for me, because personally, I just don't get down with them. You know what I mean? Now, that could be just me, or it could be the game, or it could be a bit of both. Should we get into this then? Let's get into it. Let's get into it, guys. Just get into it. Where's chat? Let me bring chat up. What's this I've got open here? Close that down. I've got a bunch of shit open here that I don't need open. Get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. But how is everybody doing anyway, though, guys? Have you had a good week? How's life been treating you? I got my Huel drink today as well. Try and get myself some protein in. I haven't had one of these frags. These are nice, by the way. You know, they're expensive. They're like £3 to £3.50 a bottle, which is expensive. But they are kind of like a meal in a bottle. I don't really use them for that, if I'm honest. I just use them to top up my protein. Not the most efficient way to top up my protein, because I think they're about 400 calories roundabout. Where, like, my protein shake that I typically have, which is my whey protein, I can get, like, this has got 20 gram of protein. I think I can get, actually, how much is it in that? I can't remember if it's 23 now or 35 grams of protein in there, and that's only like half the calories. But anyway, shall we check out some videos then, shall we? See what's going on in the world of gacha and video games. Again, I will be streaming more as we get back into things, and I'll definitely be doing more evening streams, and we'll be streaming other games as well. Obviously, the main channel, YouTube, will be specifically continuing at the moment for the foreseeable future for gacha content, anime style game content as well. You know, if there's something I think might be relevant, and something that I think there's going to be a crossover for people who are interested in things like Wuthering Waves, Zenless Zone Zero, Genshin, Star Rail, whatever, you know, that genre. If there's a game that's like, ooh, this looks cool, and it crosses over and might not necessarily be a gacha game, or maybe even an anime game, we'll talk about that as well, and we may even stream it. The only time really now that you'll probably see non-gacha sort of content is if I'm streaming, and say it's like tomorrow, and we stream on the main channel for a few hours, and we've been streaming, say, Wuthering Waves for a couple of hours, and played some Zenless Zones here, and I'm like, right, I just want to go play some Deadlock now, and we just stream that at the end of the stream, like, you know, and people can watch or not watch, but it's not like a dedicated stream specifically for that. Otherwise, majority of the time, if I'm just not feeling playing a gacha game that particular day, we'll stream on the second YouTube channel, or, you know, just check me out over at Twitch, because Twitch is for everything, really, pretty much. What's my favourite song from PGR? I do like that, what is it, Wolves song? Forgot what it's called now. It's almost like a Paramore style song. I like that one. Forgot what it's called though. I don't really know the names of the tunes in the soundtrack. Yeah, I need to have a sit down one of the days and listen to them properly. But yeah, I quite like that one. I forgot what it's called. Something the Wolves or something. I think it's called. But I like that. It's a good song. It gives you like reminiscent vibes of like a Paramore song. Holy Moon Night. Yeah, we're gonna have to have a listen. We're gonna have to have a little listen. Decide what's my favourite actually, because I do want to add something to the music when we're starting up the stream or when we're just chilling, rather than because at the minute it's kind of just a Zenly Zone Zero soundtrack. Where are we? Let me get chat up. Where's our videos? All right, we'll watch this one first. Talking about Do It Night Abyss. Pop that over there as well. And I do want to try and watch this, the gacha game scams video, because that's interesting.
Do It Night Abyss.
All right, let's check this out.
All right, guys, welcome back.
Because I am interested in this game. Actually, I am interested. To be fair, though, I'm interested in a lot of games, gacha or not. You know. It's quite a few games at the moment that I'm very much interested in. I'll tell you what, do you know what I really want to play? I want to play that Fate Trigger, the Navita. I was hoping I'd get access to the beta for that, but I was unlucky, I didn't. So next time we get to play that or whenever the game launches, because I was watching gameplay, but it looks cool, man. Obviously, it's kind of, I guess, missed the boat a little bit because it is a battle royale. And I'm not really bothered about battle royales anymore. But if you're adding the hero shooter element and the waifu element into it, hey, I'm willing to come back to try it out. I'm down for that. I'm down for that. So when that actually launches, we'll definitely check that out. Because like I said, when I was watching people play, it looked smooth. It seemed like it ran well. Graphics were nice and vibrant. It looked fun. The gunplay looked pretty decent. Nothing mind-blowing, but just pretty decent. And, you know, I'm here for an anime waifu PUBG style game. I'm down for that. I'm definitely down for it. Anyway, all right. Let's watch some videos then, shall we? See what's going on in the world of gacha. Right. Yeah, we'll check it out. Innit? I'll have a listen to you. All right, let's have a look at what's going on in the world of gacha then. It finally happened. A massive Do It Night Abyss reveal. Video from Sticks, guys. You should check him out. I am looking forward to this game, actually. I've seen little snippets here and there, and it is something that is on my radar that we will definitely check out when we can. So let's see what this video is all about then.
Do It Night Abyss is that anime waifu warframe gacha game that's releasing at some point in the next year. I got to play through and actually finish the...
See, there's a lot more range stuff in this game as well that definitely does fit that like over-the-shoulder third-person style, I guess, Warframe-esque type of gameplay, because I'm looking for that in a gacha game in the minute. That's kind of what I want. I know you've got it in Snowbreak, and I'm not against Snowbreak. Snowbreak's an alright game, but I just want something that's just a little bit more, you know, feels a little bit more polished, a little bit more... You know, just a little bit more. I like it, but give me something like this. I'm definitely down for this. The shooting mechanics in this game as well look pretty decent.
Entire technical test when it was available, and I had a lot of fun. I have a dedicated video of my thoughts if you're interested. But a quick TLDW.
Might have to check that out.
I thought the character models looked pretty decent. I thought the combat itself was pretty good. I love the...
Ooh, that gunplay looks kind of cool, actually. That's a very much PGR / Wuthering Waves there. That is, isn't he?
Third-person shooter action combat. I thought that this was done better than any other gacha game out there. A lot better than Snowbreak. I thought that the game had a lot of potential. I love the interactions between character abilities. I love the ability to interact with the world and how it was like semi-hybrid.
Is that actual gameplay, or is it just in-engine?
Large open
that
areas
looks cool if that's gameplay.
Screens separating them, kind of like with Honkai Star Rail. Overall, I thought the game was a lot of fun and had a lot of potential. Now, if this is your first time...
Was that in-game, though? Was that actually gameplay? Was that just in-engine? Because that looked hella smooth to be gameplay. It all looked just a little bit too fluid. Looked like it was like an in-game action scene or something, or in-engine action scene, should I say, rather than actual actual combat.
Here, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the little bell notification, that way you remain up to date with every single thing that I post, and I post daily. Do not miss out. As of a few days ago, Hero Games, the devs behind Do It Night Abyss, released a brand new trailer from the Tokyo Game Show. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at that.
I must admit, Tokyo Game Show's been great for some of the gacha content recently, actually. Got another Breakers Unlock the World video probably going up over the next couple of days as well, looking at some of the multiplayer gameplay, which actually look kind of cool.
See how
I'm interested in that game as well.
Improved, since quite a bit of time has passed since the technical test. And they've had a lot of time to improve on various aspects of the game that actually needed improvement. Oh my god. She looks great.
Okay, that's... Hey, I'm here for a red-headed maid with a giant scythe and what looks like she's got two kind of floating cannons next to her, kind of like Liv. Okay, I'm here for this.
Okay, that ability looks cool. Okay, admittedly, she does... Her movements are a little stiff.
A little bit. I think the thing we've got to take into account, though, like, I'm okay. See, I'm not one of these animation police people. Don't get me wrong. I do like things to be as polished as possible. But at the end of the day, as long as the gameplay loop for me is fun, I can deal, because certain games just have different animation styles anyway. Some games tend to be a bit more choppy, that snappy kind of animation. Some tend to be the full fluidity of it all. I'd admit, though, didn't look the best there. But I like that the combat looks kind of all right, though. You know, I'm down for shooting shit with big ass cannons, that's for sure. I like those enemy designs.
So are his. Blood on Earth.
Yeah, I can definitely see what he's saying there, though. As he's running along, they definitely do look a little bit stiff. The actual combat animations themselves don't look terrible. I've seen better.
Character looks great, though. Oh, she's adorable. I remember this boss fight from the technical test.
Actually, I think I remember them when they were live streaming a little bit, actually. And I saw them fighting this boss, I think. And I'm pretty sure on the live stream, they actually got, like, killed a couple of times. They looked like they were really struggling with it. It's like a pretty cool looking boss, actually.
Lady. Yeah, there we go.
I think it is, anyway. Yeah, it's the same boss, I think.
She uses the sword.
See, those animations, to me, don't look terrible at all. They're nothing spectacular. They're not Wuthering Waves.
I like the epic music used here, but what I don't like is how...
Hey, I'll tell you what, though. I like the fact that there's a bow used there. This is one thing that I'd like to see in Wuthering Waves. Give me some ranged weapons that are like rifles, sniper rifles, shotguns, crossbows, bows. Like, give me those sort of things, or maybe even gauntlets that actually fire bolts, you know? Like, get creative with the weapons. I'm here for that. Hey, Riley, what's going on? Welcome to the stream.
Stiff this is feeling compared to the technical tests that I played, and especially compared to the last trailer.
I'll give him that. It definitely does look quite stiff, to be fair. It does. Which is not a great look. Again, some games can be a little bit stiff, but still be incredibly fun to play sometimes. But, yeah, I'll admit that I get what he's saying there. When I was watching them play on the live stream, though, it didn't look this stiff. I don't know if it's potentially because they're using some adjusted camera positioning here for this video. I'm not too sure.
Okay, I was wondering when they were going to showcase the OG characters.
Is that My Little Pony?
She summoned unicorns. What is that?
That boss looks cool, though. That boss does look cool. Why is it always the lolly character that does that? That's like, you know? What is that? What is that? liking the variety in the ranged weapons. Has she got like tentacles? Are they like squid-like
these
tentacles?
animations just seem off. I don't know. It's a mimic, isn't it? Yeah. See, okay,
that's kind of a sus way to end the video, to be fair, that is. That's kind of sus, I must say. Again, obviously, I think he's going to go on to talk about the animations here. I can see exactly what he's saying. I think sometimes, though, especially with the gacha space, obviously, because these games are going to be cross-platform, they're going to be mobile, and obviously, hopefully, you know, we are getting a PC version, as far as I'm aware. I think sometimes games like Wuthering Waves, and, you know, even Genshin as well, and Star Rail, and Zenless Zone Zero, we get a little bit spoiled by that quality, that tip-top polish, you know. And I know that Huyo now, really, any games coming out of Huyo, they're AAA games, you know what I mean? They're a massive developer and publisher, and with massive budgets, those are AAA games now. You know, something like Wuthering Waves, definitely not so much. You know, they've got big companies invested in them, but they definitely are more of I'd say a double A. I'd say Wuthering Waves to me is kind of like a double A game. It's like kind of trying to bridge that gap between that and triple A, but it seems to have that sort of quality that puts it into the triple A space at the same time, in my opinion, in regard to just how good things look. And I think we are spoiled by those games. Not all of the gacha games that are trying to do something somewhat similar are going to just look as polished and going to look as fluid as well. You know, it's like I've seen that a lot of people using that as criticism towards Nevernis to Evernis, which I think looks great. But I can understand, just like Terra Fantasy, you know, things were a little bit more jank than they were in Wuthering Waves and Genshin. But that didn't mean that, like, it was something that I think you should majorly take away from the game. Definitely something that should be criticised and critiqued and looked at as in comparison to this. But it wasn't something that, like, when I'm playing Terra Fantasy, it doesn't really affect me too much, if I'm honest. But, you know, when you're comparing to something like Wuthering Waves, that's like bespoke, isn't it, really?
To me, that felt off. Before we go any further, let me take a moment here to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal, and I can't thank you all enough for the support. Now let's keep talking. I don't know how many of you agree, but seeing the character movements, they just seemed off.
I think it was the running animations more than anything, which obviously in a game that's going to have a lot of shooting is going to seem a little bit jank. For me, when they were actually engaging in melee combat, it didn't look terrible. It wasn't the best, but it didn't look terrible. Nothing that was big distracting for me. But I definitely think when they were moving with their range weapons or just moving around in general, that did look a little bit stiff.
Especially when you see this guy running, that just looked bad.
Like those animations there.
The tactical tasks, I thought it was an enormous amount of fun, but
definitely as he's running there, did
maybe
look a little
it's
bit.
These new characters that don't look and feel very fluid, but I don't know. I think the movement and the animations were downgraded rather than upgraded, or maybe they were just altered, and that's not necessarily good.
It's like me, for her animations there where she's swinging, I'm not necessarily like looking at that and being like, oof, nah, that's not for me. I've seen better, but not to the point where it's like it takes anything away from me, you know what I mean?
It's not necessarily a bad thing, because all we really saw were like three characters.
Another old World Combat Gacha game again.
With, like,
yes,
monster,
2025. The next 12 months are going to be incredibly competitive in this space, you know, with Azure Premilia, Nevernis to Evernis, this, Arknights Enfield, potentially Project Mugen, obviously Wuthering Waves just dropping as well. And, you know, Genshin still being around, like, it's insane. And I've probably not even, there's probably many that I forgot to mention there. You know, the space is getting hot at the moment.
I think, realistically, we're going to have to wait and see when the next test phase is playable, how these characters interact.
Like those animations there of that character looked okay to me.
To other characters, since you can deploy 3 characters at any given time. I am curious to see if anyone else had the same opinion now.
So what, you can send out characters, because like she seemed to like send them out, so you can almost kind of send them out like as little AI to fight alongside you, can you? And then switch between them, I'm assuming.
Why does it look a bit toned down from its earlier teaser? Yeah, exactly. Early trailers are pure CG animation. I mean, that's also true, but I played the tactical test, and the tactical test was better. I don't know what type
when I was watching the stream where there was a fighting that boss,
they really didn't do a very good job of showcasing what the actual game was here. I'm gonna try it, but something about this looks off to me. Yeah, 100% agreed. I already felt like Warframe gameplay showed its age in some departments, but translating it from the ground up is kind of puzzling. All the movement seems clunkier than Warframe. Yeah, see, that is my concern. It actually feels clunkier. And I don't understand.
So is that what it's trying to be then? Because like, is this going to be a little bit more instance then? I don't know. Is this going to be fully open world, or is this going to be, because people are really comparing it to Warframe here, which I'm not getting right off the bat. Is that because it's going to be a little bit more instance and linear in that regards? I know there's more open areas in Warframe now, but when I played Warframe back in the day, it felt very much more linear in the way you approach stuff. And I only played Warframe for a bit as well, so I don't even know how the whole game plays. If I'm honest, I probably played it for like an hour, 2, maybe something like that, and just could never really get into it. But I must say, for me personally, just looking at it, I don't really see that it's that close. I guess you could say, with the fact that over shoulder, the third person combat is comparable in a way, I guess, but one looks like a gacha waifu game, and you know, one's a grinder shooter, really.
Understand why. Is this another open world game, or is it stage based? It's like, I think the world is kind of, if you take Honkai Star Rail,
okay,
and then you take Genshin Impact, and they meet in between. They have a, you know, an illegitimate love child.
Okay, so it's probably going to be a little bit more like Arknight Enfields then, in that sense. There's going to be, it's going to be a not open world, but like larger instanced areas where you can move between them potentially, but obviously there'll be loading segments for that. Okay, all right. Okay, so if it's not trying to go into that open world space, then it's going to trying to achieve something a little bit different, I guess. I'm interested. I'm definitely
That's the best way
interested.
to explain this. This is the same problem I had with WuWa when it was still in testing phase. The combat lacked impact. Hits didn't feel like what the weapon should be doing to an enemy. That might actually be the issue, that it just felt weightless and just felt like it didn't have any impact whatsoever. Still looks a little undercooked, and that is because it is. We don't know when Duet Night Abyss is releasing. We don't even have an estimate.
I was going to say as well, you look at some of the combat footage from Wuthering Waves on some of those early tests, drastically looks different now, you know, so there's still plenty of time for all this stuff to get tweaked, get polished, to get updated, to, you know, to just get overall, you know, improved.
We can speculate it's going to release at some point in 2025, but they've only held one technical test. Tactically, Wuthering Waves held multiple beta tests before releasing, and that took years. Duet Night Abyss might not even be coming in 2025. They might be doing what Tower Fantasy did, and that is reworking a lot of the core game, a lot of the core animations, the core combat, to make it into a significantly better game. I do genuinely want you guys, though, to take a minute, go down into the comment section below, and let me and the developers know what you thought about this trailer. Genuinely, just take a minute, right?
I think for me, I'm interested because I kind of want a gacha game that fills that space of a, you know, like a third person shooter kind of game. I suppose some people would say something like Warframe, but I'm thinking more something like The Division, you know, because like I really like The Division. I've been recently playing The Division 2 actually, because I never really played that one much. And I'm going to get back onto that soon again, actually, because I really like The Division 2. So something like that for me within the gacha space, I'm definitely interested in. And I like the fact that it seems to be doing a bit of both, you know, that there's it seems like there's a lot of emphasis on the third person shooter stuff, but also the close quarters melee combat as well. So it's that alone for me is definitely going to keep this on my radar. Again, the combat didn't look that terrible to me, if I'm honest, but I think I'm quite easily pleased. You know what I mean? End of the day, I tend to just have that wait and see kind of attitude of like, sometimes stuff looks a bit jank and a bit jarring. Then you play it, and it's like, dude, this is way more fun than that game that looks super fluid and super polished.
Write down your pros, your cons, what you liked, and what you didn't. Because at the end of the day, the devs look at videos like this. They engage with the community to attempt to gather information from players, potential players, on what they should improve and what they're doing right and wrong. They can only make a game as good
Enemy's
as we
cool
help
though, isn't
them
it?
make.
The
They
moth
will
lady.
make improvements based
The butterfly
on
lady, whatever she
feedback,
is.
and if we provide sufficient feedback to let them know what doesn't look good, they have adequate time to improve it. I think the animations look off. I think they little I don't know, they look and feel clunky. They look and feel, they don't have that seamless style, that fluid style that like Wuthering Waves has, that Zenless Zone Zero has. And this is a game that is good.
I do feel like though sometimes it's a little bit unfair to compare animations specifically to those two games, because I feel like they're top tier in that regard. You know, like I think obviously there's talented people at a lot of these companies, but Toyo definitely have some talented people. So do Kuro as well. You can tell multiple times throughout your playtime in Wuthering Waves that there's like, damn, these people are really showing off their skills right here in what they can do in making video games. And you know, I think sometimes you've just got some development companies that just do things better, don't they? And I think sometimes to go to those, because the way I see it, Huyo, some people wouldn't say they're like the gold standard, but I think they definitely are in regards to quality, in terms of polish, in terms of animations, in terms of how the games look, art style, music, all that. You can say what you want about the actual systems, quality of life, and all that sort of stuff. And I think Kuro are up there as well, in my opinion now, because Wuthering Waves, in my opinion, hate it or love it. I think if you're going to look at it objectively, I think it's fair to say the game is really well made. You know, there's some serious talent at Kuro in regards to making video games. And I think sometimes you've just got those companies that just have super talented people. And I think to compare games in that regard to them, it's a little bit harsh sometimes. You can look at it in other regards. How fun is it to play? What's the story like? You know, all that sort of stuff. But I think, you know, it's like comparing, I don't know, it's like comparing everybody to a specific singer, you know, or a specific group of singers. It's like, well, you know, doesn't mean they can't make good music. They're just not gonna hit the notes like those guys can. You know what I mean?
Gonna have to compete with both of the aforementioned titles. I think graphically,
this is true
the
though.
game looks
This is
as
true
good as ever. I think the characters
you know,
look good.
if they're gonna go out there to compete with those
combat animation
games,
definitely needs some
at the
work.
same time, it's a fair comment to make.
That, well, I mean, we haven't really seen the world, so I can't say how much better or worse the overall world looks and feels.
And
but
at the end of the day, that's what the consumer's going to do, isn't it? The consumer is going to make that direct comparison.
Significant improvement is necessary with regards to the animations. Seriously, if you want to compare with Azure Parmelia, which looks great, the animations look incredibly fluid.
They do.
If you're going to want to compete with Zenless, WuWa, Arknight's Enfield, you have to make improvements, especially with regards to the fluidity of your character animations. I look forward to seeing what they do next and critiquing
that's all fair
the next
points.
trailer,
Yeah.
or
Nothing I can argue about those points,
the
to
next
be fair.
test phase, whichever comes first. Hey, you, where do you think you're going?
Yeah, good video. I'm looking forward to it. I am. I want to get my hands on it as well, because like I say, I'm looking for something in that shooter space that fits the bill for me. And as I say, I'm probably a little bit more lenient on those sort of things, because I'm like, to me, animations kind of fit into that space of visuals in a way. You know, there's some games that don't have the best animations, or they have a style of animation that doesn't look that great to see from somebody else playing it, but like while you're playing it, the game just has that feel. You know, it just slaps in a way. And I guess until you actually get to play a game like that, you can see, you know what I mean? But everything he said is completely right. And as I said, it's harsh sometimes to compare that part of a game to something like Kuro, to something like Hoyoverse. you're gonna do it, and people are gonna do it as well, aren't they? So you know, yeah, good video. I'm looking forward to it actually, though. I will be checking that game out as soon as we can check it out, though. That's for sure. I'll keep it on the radar, and as soon as I know any more, or if you know any more, let me know, and I'll let you know. But yeah, check out Sticks as well, guys. Anyway, since we were 1.4, he's coming to JP and CN. I'm guessing that Camellia going to be the first DPS that scales on basic attack, similar to other Generation 1 limited DPS like Jian, Jinxie, and Yat. It'd be interesting. Be interesting to see. Because I do want something that's a little, well, not because I do play different, like, you know. But I want to see a build variety as well. I do, you know, rather than just it all about crit damage, crit DPS, all that sort. Which I mean, crit rate. Sorry. Which obviously with a DPS that's important, but at the same time, you know, it depends on how the kit's built that you can scale stuff into other stuff to get. You know, to get all the obviously you're going to want crit damage anyway, because crit's important, so you're never going to get away from it. But you get what I mean. So it doesn't feel that like that's the most important thing, but it's always going to be important because it's how you get more, isn't it? Camilla seems more like a sub DPS. I don't know, really. We don't know, do we? You can go off what she looks like, I guess, but until we know more about her kit, you know. I wouldn't mind her being either, if I'm honest. I wouldn't mind her being a sub DPS or DPS. It seemed like you could do in a few cutscenes. You know, it's watch it though, innit? With everybody, it's always a DPS plus sub DPS or healer combination per patch. Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm definitely pulling her though. I don't care what role she fits, if I'm honest. You know what I mean? She can be useless and I'm still pulling her. You know? Because the waifu meta got me on that one. The waifu meta got me. So she can be a bench warmer and I'm grabbing her, you know? Well, yeah, if she does run with Yinlin, it would make sense that, yeah. Because, like, it would make sense. Christ. What do you mean there? Troutman? It would make sense for Yinlin, obviously, to be the next rerun, if that's the route they're going to go. Do you reckon we'll get to a point of double banners? 2 character banners? Do you think we'll ever get there? I think the first time we get that will be via a rerun. You know, new character, rerun banner, same time. All right, then, let's check this video out then. A little bit of a longer one, but I want to check it out. I meant to watch it yesterday, but it was a little bit too late. We watched a bunch of other videos already. I have got to catch up to the story. We're going to start the story today. We are going to start it and probably get it wrapped up tomorrow. Like I say, though, Rosie's going down a mom's tomorrow, so I have the day to game. So, yeah, we'll be able to bash out a bunch of stuff tomorrow. Pardon me. So, yeah. All right, then. Let's do this, then. Let's do this. Let's talk about the countless gacha game stands. Well, there's plenty of stands, and there's probably plenty of scams as well from Sunil. Yeah, man, I'm interested in these. I meant to watch it yesterday, but let's check it out today. Let's go.
Balloons as ass? Well, anyway, gacha game scams, let's talk about them. Now what I mean when it comes to scams are not inherently specific gacha games themselves. Granted, stuff like FGO exists, so the extent of my tolerance towards saying that is tested in the face of the 200 pulls I did to get the equivalent
What we're talking about, actual mechanics with inside gacha games, and are we, rather than the games themselves?
of nothing except for half-breathed carbon dioxide, but I am talking about gacha game ripoffs. And there are some such as cash grabs for popular IPs, but those are about a dime a dozen to find, so I don't care to really talk about them. Instead, I'm going to talk about gachas that have stolen character designs, wasted thousands of dollars by players, were investigated
Oh, did I see some Magic Awaken there? Did I see some Magic Awaken there? I never spent money on that game, actually. I like that game, though. I thought it was kind of cool. I stopped playing it ages ago. It seemed like a lot of people did as well, because obviously they end-of-serviced it in the West, and it's only running in China, I think Japan maybe, and some other Eastern Asian territories as well. And obviously all the money you spent on the game is gone up in smoke now. That's why, really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you spend your money on in these games. It's all kind of been burnt the second you spend it. You don't know when the game's going to end. At some point, it is going to end, though. It's just how long that takes. But the thing that sucked, they wouldn't even allow people in EU or NA to transfer the characters over to other servers, which I thought was kind of tight. If you're willing to play with that lag, what's the problem, really? I thought that was kind of shady.
By the government for breaches of contract and completely rigged the gacha mechanics without the players knowing. But to start off with a small-scale scam, look at these two Arknights characters. On the left we have Saria, and on the right we got Leslie. Now these two designs are fairly unique. I mean, they got the regular old Arknights features like horns and whatnot, because the game's 50% of the way to being tagged as a furry one. But the designs are pretty noticeable. They ain't out here looking like the average character in a Mihoyo game. So with that being the case...
Yeah, I ain't played this game at all. So these characters are all going to be new to me.
I want you to imagine a way you can steal the designs without it being obvious. Like, if you were to be making a scam and, for whatever reason, decided stealing the designs of one of the most popular gacha games would be a goated idea, then how would you do it? Because whatever you thought,
change the color palette?
I guarantee
it
was better
nobody will ever know.
Because goddamn, they did not even try. This
Man, they don't even change the color palette.
IQ scheme was done by a game called Girls' Mansion.
Okay. I was joking, just change color palette, man. Nobody will know. These guys are like, we ain't even going that far, bro. Get out of here, color palette change. Yeah, we're hoping nobody's going to play this game anyway, so nobody will ever know. Just enough whales will get in and they'll spend the money before somebody goes, have you noticed something there, bro? Yeah, that's, yeah, damn, that's pretty. Dude, down even like to the tail here with a little star on the end of the tail. Holy cow, man. Damn. All right.
They decided to steal the two incredibly damn unique designs for their ads. Now, in response to this, Arknights sued them and made the company agree to never steal Arknights' designs again.
I'll say they were pretty quite unique as well, weren't they, really?
Generally, that's where the story
especially
ends,
the one on
and
the
it
left.
makes for a good laugh, because after all, the lawsuit was settled in Hypergriff's favor, and it's a pretty open and shut case. But I actually wanted to dig deeper into this to see what's up, and because of that, I decided to download the game. Now, to do this, I had to find the original Chinese version of Hypergriff's statement on the game, and use my non-existent understanding of the Chinese...
What's the game called? Hypergriff? Or Hypergrift? Because that's telling in itself if it's called Hypergrift.
Language to figure out which of the quoted games was not titled Arknights. Now from there, I copied the name and threw it into Google, landing me on, honestly, some of the sketchiest fucking sites I've ever witnessed. And one of them had a big green download button, which, as you all know, is not a recipe for disaster in the slightest. So I clicked download.
Oh, he did it. He risking it for the biscuit, man. Yeah, that's a virtual machine kind of thing there, or a throwaway laptop. Because that is not going on the main PC, that's for sure.
About 30 fucking minutes later, don't know why this shit took so long considering it was 136 megabytes. The game, or
your PC's mining Bitcoin now, bro.
Downloaded. And yes, don't worry, I scanned it with virus total. Only one vendor said it was a Trojan, so I'm sure it's fine. Now after asking for my, fucking location, it went to download the bulk of what I can only pray is a video game.
Dude's ballsy.
And I need Chinese citizenship to sign up. Fuck. Well, boys, we tried hard, but it appears the battle has been lost. However, in place of playing that game, there is one scam I was able to get my hands on, Winning Derby. Now, this is I was gonna say clone or copy, but that feels less than.
Don't you find yourself sometimes when you're like in the space, I like anime, I've liked anime since I was a kid. But let's not pretend sometimes, even us degenerates who play gacha games, who watch anime, who play anime games, sometimes you'll find yourself reading something or uttering the words of the description of a game or a show or a manga, and you're just like, did I just say those words together? Is that something that's a thing that I just described and now am kind of orbiting? Is this what my life's become now? Is this... is this it? Some of the shit's wild in this space.
I ain't really mad at it. Get that bag. However, within getting that horse girl bag, some other companies decided, hey, that shit don't look half bad, wouldn't mind getting a slice of that pie myself. Let's forget about the fact that the Yakuza is pretty invested with their company and also threatens doujin artists to not make hentai of the characters. And within forgetting that, they decided to make Uma Musume but
So the threatened artist not to make hentai of the characters. You know what happened that day, right? You know what happened that day.
dog shit. I see, they basically took the gameplay loop of it, dumbed it down to where a toddler could play it because a fully developed brain is not within the target audience for this slop, and sprinkled on top of this delightful package is AI art. Yep, everything in it is AI art. Deadass. The shit ain't even like AI assisted art or maybe Photoshop to hide it. Nah. This is the most obvious shit known to man. You can take a caveman from the Stone Ages and they'd probably be able to sniff it out. And the text of the game, I'm pretty sure, is also AI translated, because the formatting is beyond ass. It flows like a—
Did that just say, please register for the new horse story?
also AI translated, because the formatting is beyond ass. It flows like a leaking septic tank, and they didn't type out stamina correctly. Brother, why? That is a question that'll
What did
permeate
that
the
say?
depths of my soul
Stamina?
because I cannot understand who this game is for. It's kind of like the Minecraft ripoffs you'd see on app stores, except the difference
Even with the text there, look at that. I remember there's also a growth period setting. How does that...
is those would either be free or incredibly cheap for the game. Meanwhile, you expect people to gamble for AI art. Goddamn, that shit makes the NFT idiots look like geniuses.
And I bet you there's people out there doing it. I bet you there's people out there doing it.
And you may think to yourself, well, I mean, the gambling makes it so you can see them in gameplay, so at the very least, even if it is AI art, the models will be unique on their own. Well, here's the thing about that. Within the desaturated hellscape one might mistake as gameplay, the godforsaken 3D models do not even look like they generated
Damn. So they generate the AI art and then they're like, right, okay, you know, AI's made the character for us. Sweet. You'd think, all right, you know, easy enough for us to like slap that into the 3D model in the game. They're like, nah, fuck that, man. We've just got some base models. We'll just go with that. People can, you know, people can infer that that is the character. You know, they can imagine it. That's part of the premise, right? It's all your imagination.
abominations you gamble for. They were too lazy to even try and make 3D models that looked vaguely similar to what blind people can misinterpret as waifus. Now the gambit is, from my understanding, a ripoff of Uma Musume that is done in the most... bare bones is a generous description, done in a way that would only be a satisfying game if it was the last thing someone could play in the event of a nuclear apocalypse. Now from there, the genius creators decided to use...
I think I'd rather play with sticks and rocks, if I'm honest, you know? Nuclear apocalypse, if that's all they've got to play, I guess I'm going to go and touch, well, I guess it won't be grass, but I guess I'll go and touch debris, you know, maybe. That'd definitely be better.
Use AI art, probably because no real artist would have wanted their name attached to this, and decided to whip out ChatGPT's free plan to translate it into English. And this did not culminate into a successful project. Instead, it's something that is considered a scam, which, I gotta say, masterful gambit. But funnily enough, turns out Uma Musume did not sue them for this game. And that sounds like a good thing for the company. After all, Uma Musume can probably...
They probably didn't even waste their money. They were probably, you know what, this isn't even a waste. What's the point? You know, these guys aren't making money. Well, I hope they're not. And it's just going to be a waste of our time, money, and effort to do anything about this.
Drag them down to the depths of Tartarus if they really wanted to. However, in place of that, they are being investigated by the government of Hong Kong. Now, what I was able to gather from the only article I've seen about this, which wasn't natively in English, is Hong Kong has a program set up to give local developers funds to create games. I would imagine the purpose behind it is to support local businesses within the gaming sphere, as that's generally dominated by many other countries.
That's cool.
Now, from there, the loan was given to many different companies, including the creators of Uma Musume Skinwalker Edition. The thing is, though, it has a clause saying that the content cannot be plagiarized, and on that note, here's a completely unrelated pic from the article describing this investigation. So if it's determined that they violated the agreement via plagiarism, then they need to return up to $70,000 to the government, with interest. Yeah, honestly, there are some geniuses with this one.
Damn, so these guys got funded by the government for the projects. One of the terms was, don't steal that shit, you know? And they were like, bet, right? Fuck it. Let's just steal that shit.
And it is important to note that the branch for the program did say that during development of the game they had not noticed anything that would violate the terms. However, after it released and anyone who had briefly heard the words Uma Musume in passing saw it, they all called it a ripoff, thus prompting the investigation. Now I tried to find the result of this investigation, but not much info came up. I mean, the latest article I found was a Japanese one made in late August, but that still only talks about the investigation, not the results of it. However, I was able to find something interesting. So for the Tokyo Game Show that's happening at the time of writing this script right now, the Hong Kong Game Enhancement and Promotion Scheme has floor space and they're showing off 12 domestically made games, Winning Derby being one of them. So I wasn't able to find if the investigation resulted in them needing to return that money. If I were to hold a guess, I'd say the investigation is still ongoing. And then
Wow, why would that be there? That's wild. Like, why would they want to use that as a promotion for games developed in Hong Kong? This is representation of the gaming industry, guys, over here, when there's so much quality stuff coming out to China and Hong Kong and that regional in general.
being at the Tokyo Game Show means one of two things. Either one is because, according to the contract, in addition to gaining money, they were to be given floor space at the Tokyo Game Show. So even if they are under investigation, if it has not been revealed for them to have breached contract, then they are still under contract, which means they should have floor space. And the other possibility could be that they cleared up the situation already and it was determined to not be plagiarized. Now, regardless of the outcome, if Uma Musume is standing...
I don't know, because aren't like the plagiarism laws and like copyright laws a lot different in China and Hong Kong. I don't know specifically about Hong Kong so much because I know the laws are slightly different there. But I don't know if like more of the actual mainland China laws now have like come out, because I know things have changed over there over the last couple of years. We know that because stuff that we've seen on the news and stuff in regard to like, you know, the protests and all that sort of stuff. And I know laws were introduced, but I don't know in that regards. Because like, you know, there's the idea, I don't know how true this is because I've never really looked into the copyright laws over there, that, you know, they tend to be a little bit more fast and loose with stuff, but I don't know if that's more a little bit more fast and loose with foreign IPs, that it's like, hey, you know, do what you're doing kind of thing, you know. It don't matter if you're stealing stuff from American companies or European companies or Japanese companies, but let's not do it to each other kind of attitude, you know? Potentially that's what goes on over there. I don't know.
Behind
I don't
them,
know.
just waiting to bring them out back and ship their body to 50 different countries, that remains to be seen. However, when it comes to big IPs, there is one scam to talk about: Harry Potter Magic Awakened.
Here we
go.
So
to talk about what the game did to scam people, let's set the stage. The game had an event where any of the premium currency you bought, named Starstones, were doubled. It's the basic gacha mechanic of buy this pack of currency in a 2-for-1 deal. So everyone uses the opportunity to cash in on the deal and get a shit ton of gems. After all, they could be used to buy packs and paid items, so getting it on sale essentially meant getting those packs.
I will say one thing though, again, before we get into this, obviously it's not looking good because it's in this video. The actual gameplay in this game, I kind of liked, man. It was okay. You know, I actually tweeted the devs when this game first dropped and I was like, can you guys bring this to PC so I can play it on my PC, please? I'd like a PC client. Obviously, that never happened. Obviously, the game, you can't even play it in my region anymore anyway. But yeah, man, it was kind of fun. I liked it. The battle system was actually quite nice.
On sale until they changed how the packs worked. You see, they made it so when you go to buy the paid items and packs, you don't need to use that premium currency. Instead, you could just buy it straight with real money. Meaning, anyone who spent money to buy that premium currency to then use it in buying future packs can no longer use it for that. They made use.
So it wasn't just that you could use that and real money. It was just that you could just use real money now. So they took away your ability. Oh my God. Wow, dude, that is shady as fuck.
Use of the deal under the assumption that the gems would continue to be used how they normally were. And then they were made to be not worthless, but worth less. And the response to this was, I mean, you could probably imagine. A hashtag saying the game was scamming people got onto the trending list of Chinese social media, as this was prior to it being released on global. Now, one would hope that with this game being a thing, it was only a one-time fuck-up, not a pattern of behavior or anything. Yeah, no, it wasn't. Before this game happened, they had a case of false advertising. There was this pack that was up for purchase, and it was worded and shown in a way to make the buyers believe that after spending money for it, they would receive everything in it immediately. However, to get the items people really wanted, it turns out that after purchasing it, they needed to increase their level to 100. And to do that, they either needed to play every day or, in some cases, purchase stamina so they could feasibly level up to 100 in that time limit. Meaning that the pack was framed in a
Damn. Hey, you know, this is why I say I like Wuthering Waves. I've spent money on it. I spent money on Genshin. I spent money on Star Rail. That's the only three I've spent money on in terms of gacha games. But I think at the end of the day, the second you open your wallet and put money into a gacha game, you're playing with fire, and you have to know that, you know. And any digital licensed game now as well. The fact that you don't really own your games at all anymore. I think in some countries now, games, I think on the PlayStation Store and on Steam, I think they're having to remove the actual terminology purchased, because you're not purchasing it, you're licensing it, you're renting it basically, aren't you? I think that terminology is having to be taken out of some of the descriptions for stuff. I think it's on Steam as well, I'm pretty sure.
A way to where people were misled in thinking that, for fucking paying money, they would receive what was advertised to them. But after buying it, they were told they either gotta spend more for stamina refills to actually get what they had already paid for, or they had to grind this shit like a full-time job. Now, in response to people being pissed as hell about this, That
is so shady, isn't it? Because then you are going to be like, well, fuck, I've paid now, I've got to grind. They've just, like, got you by the balls, haven't they?
compensate players who bought it by giving them the items outright. Which is good, but when you look at what they did a couple of years later, yeah, it doesn't precisely paint the greatest faith for them. However, in all of this, the weirdest part is, I heard the game itself is not half bad. Which might come as a shock considering when you see a notable IP made a gacha game, yeah, that's a pretty good track record for it to be some dog shit. But from what I heard, mismanagement really hurt the game, so much so that the global version is shutting down late October this year. And with that being the case, there's something that I've always questioned when it comes to situations like this. If your game is good, then why do companies feel the need to scam their players or make really short-sighted business decisions for profit when a game with staying power would make them more money? And in terms of an answer, I don't particularly know one. I'd say there's probably
suits, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's that maximize the profit, minimize the effort, short term, you know, get that bag as quick as possible. A lot of the times for these companies, depending on who they are, it's hitting that quarterly profit margins to appease the shareholders and the investors. And you know, and I understand it's part of business, but when it becomes things like art forms, you know, movies, TV, music, and everything, it can definitely affect them. And games definitely get affected a lot more, especially when they're live service, don't they? We feel the impact a little bit more directly, don't we?
A couple of different reasons. Maybe internal data revealed what every game they had wasn't going to last long, so they decided to cash out while interest was still high. I mean, shit, look at Tower of Fantasy. The game itself is definitely more than playable, but the numbers it's pulling in isn't really the most insane thing. Maybe it would have been a more viable strategy to release some beyond insane value pack when the game was a fucked up approach. Maybe that would have driven sunk cost fallacy and had more people stick with the game. Now, I'm not saying that they should have done this, but I am wondering if, from a place of pure profits, if something like this would have explained why some companies seem to cash out on their games instead of trying to build them into a long-term game, like FGO with it having lived longer than the goddamn dinosaurs. But then you look at this game, something that, aside from the scams in the other regions' versions, did fairly well due to it being good. Then on the global side, they decided to remove
it did fairly well through it being good as well, but plus it's attached to the Harry Potter IP as well, which is always going to help out, isn't it? It's always going to help out. Like pretty much everything that's attached to Harry Potter, you know, it does well or decent, or it generates enough interest that it's like it's been worth the initial investment. There's probably anomalies on that, but you know, it's massive, isn't it? Harry Potter, absolutely huge. And again, as I said, that game was actually kind of fun. It was, so it is a shame that it looks like it was just badly managed as well. And you know, people were, that was really suspect and dodgy the way they did that with the gems. Really bad.
Move content from the battle pass, skyrocket the cost of stuff by up to 100 times, and oh, yeah, made a skin that costs $100. Brother, why? What do you stand to gain from this except from your inevitable shutdown? But I suppose for a silver lining, at least players were able to look at this stuff happening and get a feel to not spend in the game, or at the bare minimum, spend less. Because my personal perspective is that if a company is not respecting you as a player, don't respect them. They don't deserve your money, they need to earn it. But that perspective only works when the company gives you a reason to be pissed at them, and at times, they don't foreshadow fucking you over. Which is precisely the case of what happened with the global version of Princess Connect. where it was announced to players that any month the game's global version will be shut down. Yep, out of the blue when only a month left to really play the game. Now, it's not like the global version was looking.
See, like, for a lot of these, obviously, I'm not a mobile gamer as well, so, like, I'm not gonna know a lot of the stuff because, you know, because there's a lot of games you just never hear about, do ya? They're huge in China, they're huge in other regions, or they're just, like, they're just big mobile, and if you're not a mobile gamer, you don't really hear about them. If you're not a PC gamer, you might not hear about PC games. If you're not, you know, vice versa, whatever. There's so many of these games, though, that you hear that are end of servicing. I'm just like, never heard of that. And that's probably a big part of why a lot of these end of service, because I think a lot of people probably turn around and go, what? What game is that, dude? Never heard of it. All right, cool.
Looking like it was thrown into a meat grinder prior to this announcement. After all, the money it brought in wasn't insane by any metric, but given the type of game Princess Connect was, it wasn't really expected to collapse with these numbers, especially when you factor in how a bit before this announcement, the game got a pretty big update, and also, to a more fucked up note, they had a pack to help progression in the game for new players, which, yeah. But thankfully, at the time the game was hacked into a million not-so-connected princesses, Crunchyroll made an article talking about the loss of losing a game you love. So maybe the people Crunchyroll screwed over can find solace in that? But the fact remains that seemingly out of the blue, a game people have spent so much money on was axed. Now, the precise reason we don't know. Some have speculated it's due to a future update making the gacha more free-to-play friendly, and maybe that would have hurt sales to an unsustainable point. Or maybe the sales were just never able to survive on their own. Others said maybe the license needed to be renewed and they didn't have the money for it. I mean, we could throw out many different possibilities, but no one really knows. The most we do know is that this chalks up to another reason to not like Crunchyroll as a game publisher, as they have a long history of making gacha games less free-to-play friendly and not managing them well. In some cases,
As somebody who watches Crunchyroll, I did not know that they publish video games. I didn't know that.
the
I learned
rights to
something
publish
today.
were taken back by the developers. And on the thread made years ago announcing that Princess Connect was going to be published by Crunchyroll, you had people saying it was fucked. Which, yeah, we're going to call them prophets because they scouted that shit. Now, maybe to some, a situation such as this doesn't classify as a scam. Maybe instead, some just think it's a risk you take when playing a live service game, which is entirely true. With many live service games, you need to be prepared for your ability to play them to just vanish if it's no longer profitable. However, with that being the case, when we have a company that does this out of the blue after having just sold a new player
Hey, yo, single player games as well, man. You know, because I think PlayStation Network was down the other day, wasn't he? And somebody was, I saw somebody on Twitter just being like, man, I'm gonna have to just play Modern Warfare 2 campaign because it's the only thing I can play at the moment. Obviously they're probably out of the games, but they were, I think they were, you know, a COD player, and they were like, oh, actually, I can't because the game can't connect to the servers to verify the license. Like, it just comes up and the game's gonna shut down in like 5 minutes or something like that. And it's just like, damn, dude. You know, you can't even play your single player games as well now if you're not connected. Like, so it's not even just a live service thing. It's your single player games. If they're digital as well, you kind of scuffed in a lot of realms, and it's just going to get worse. Like, you know, there was all this talk with Ubisoft, weren't there, when they were like saying that what was it, the language they use, something like the game, they want gamers to get used to not owning the games, like, and it's like, motherfucker. And I understand technically anything digital, you don't own it anyway. You know what I mean? You are basically licensing it. This is one of the things that where physical gaming, the loss of physical gaming, has its problems, doesn't it? From a rights and an ownership standpoint. Of course, I'm all digital now. I used to, when I was on PlayStation, I used to try and buy majority of my games physical because I was a bit of a collector. I like nice cases. I like to get the tin cases. I like to get collector's editions. But then obviously when I moved over to PC, you're going digital. So, you know, I'm in that position myself. There's plenty of games that I could lose ownership to just like that. You know what I mean? That's just the world we live in as well nowadays, isn't it? Really, pretty much that's the way it's gonna be, isn't it? You'll own nothing and you'll like it. You'll rent, or you'll rent the license to use things, and that'll go through pretty much everything in your life. You know, with streaming everything now. You know, finance on pretty much everything. Just think how cars are going to be in the future with all the software updates. You know, you'll be pretty much renting your car, and if it don't go the way you want it to, that shit'll be getting switched off. Yes, good old gamers are, yeah.
pack, and they have a history of screwing over so many games they've published. yeah, it doesn't paint the cleanest picture. Like, when you have a storied history of taking on the role of a publisher, then mishandling the game so much to where you can make a Fortnite montage of their deaths, I ain't gonna view the company with that much faith, as shutting down a dying game is understandable, and players can generally scout that out. When Revived Witch died, no one was surprised considering the fact it was pulling in a 1 out of 3,350th of what Genshin was making. So in a case
Damn, 20k a month. Shit. Like, you know, even if they'd got like 5 employees, you know, they were like going broke, really, weren't they? You know what I mean? Like, say their employees was only on $2,000 a month, which is a low wage. Damn. That's 50% of their income gone right away. That's not taking overheads, development costs, or anything, taxes into any of that. So you can understand why that went bye-bye.
It's like that. I don't feel as though many people can be mad because even though it was shutting down, the most obvious writing is on the wall. Whilst a situation like this feels purely motivated to maximize profits so they can send employees to work on their next gacha game, which in this case was Street Fighter Duel. And let's look at how that game is doing. Made a collab free-to-play friendly character require $1,000 to...
Huyo is just a different beast, you know? It's like comparing any new shooter that comes on the market to Call of Duty in terms of revenue. It's just like, hey, the game might be, you know, you might even say the game's better, or it's just going to get dwarfed in revenue.
To max out, scripted roles, must roll with paid-only currency. Yeah, can't say I'm surprised. Oh, what's that about the Akuma banner? Limited character that you can't summon with premium currency, must use paid-only roles, no pity, cost $100 for 50 pulls.
No
yeah, bro,
pity.
what the fuck is this shit? However, aside from Crunchyroll games being,
Wait, hold up there. There is no pity system. The banner, as exclusive and expensive as it is, they didn't even bother to implement a pity system. It's actually even worse than Monster Hunter banner.
Bro, what the fuck is this shit? However, aside from Crunchyroll games being, that, on the note of scripted pulls,
I didn't even know, man. I didn't even know Crunchyroll published games.
Well, January of this year, Nexon was sued for $9 million by South Korea's Fair Trade Commission. The reason was that between 2010 and 2021, they had changed the drop rates for their banners and MapleStory without telling the players rolling on it.
I remember this. This was crazy. Nexon are always one of those companies. Whenever I see Nexon involved with someone, I'm just like, isn't it Nexon as well? They're suing, I think that's still ongoing, isn't it? The Dark and Darker developers, because they accused them of not only stealing assets but stealing code, apparently, for Dark and Darker. And I know there was a lot of people in the player base who was like, we don't even care because like fuck Nexon kind of attitude. Not saying that they did or didn't kind of thing, like, but you know that's coming to mobile as well, isn't it? Soon, actually, I think the guys who do PUBG Mobile are going to be making Dark and Darker Mobile.
With the drop rates for really sought-after cubes, which is what people were gotching for, to 0.00001%. Meanwhile, Nexon was out here saying that the drop rates were not changed behind the scenes. And the response to the government suing them over lying and misleading players about the drop rates? This issue pertains to the period before 2016 when there was no obligation to disclose information about probability-based items. The KFTC's retrospective sanctions will greatly shrink Korea's gaming industry. In other words, they don't give a flying fuck. The deadass went, yep, we scammed them hoes, but conversely, there wasn't a law saying it was bad to lie about probabilities. And that's not all. They literally have a patent for dynamic pull rates, meaning if you play a lot, your chance to get something decreases. If you play less, it increases. Your location also changes the rate, probably to make it so high-income areas have worse rates because those players will more likely have disposable income.
Bro. Hey, you know what? You can't hate the player, you gotta hate the game at the end of the day. You know, you're thinking about it, maximize that revenue. If you're allowed to get away with it, I ain't saying it ain't scummy, but at the end of the day, there's lots of companies doing scummy stuff to make money. If they're being allowed to do it, then I guess you can't blame them for doing it. Although that is so freaking trashy. The more you play the game, the less you're gonna get, and the less you play the game, the more you're gonna get. That's to entice you in, isn't it? That's like, ooh, have a little bit of that. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, come on. No. You know? And knowing as well, hey, these guys have got money around here, so let's milk them dry.
If your gacha items exceed a limit, decrease your rates. Rates change if you got friends on your list, probably to make it so people with a lot of friends can show off their good gacha results, thus making more people want to roll.
What?
Change your rates depending on your friend's stats, and then change them again based on the rarity of the gacha and based on your current items. And in case you're wondering what the patent is, let's go to the Korean patent catalog. Throw in this number and there's Nexon's scummy ass pulling up. Now since it's originally in Korean, we gotta rely on shitty machine translations, but you can still see that, yeah, all of this is in the patent. They legitimately have a patent for scamming motherfuckers. And to be absolutely clear, we just know they have this patent, but I don't believe we know exactly which games use it. After all, they've made a ton of games and it could be in any of them. So I don't want to give the impression that this patent is being used in like Blue Archive or something, because to make a claim like that, I would want to see undeniable proof of it. But I can't exactly look at the patent in the most innocent way knowing what they did with MapleStory. So I'm not saying Nexon is using this patent in any specific game, but I am saying that they have it, and we've seen rather interesting behavior when it comes to MapleStory, so I can't exactly think using this in many of their games would be.
It is true that just because a company patents something doesn't mean they're necessarily using it. Sometimes it's to try and stop other companies doing the same, you know? But usually these sort of patents don't just happen with the idea that we're stopping other companies potentially maximizing their revenue. So, like, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing it themselves. They're just getting in and maybe waiting for the right moment to use it. But the idea that they're not using this somewhere, or it's being test bedded in some section of some game somewhere, like, I feel like it's gotta be right. It's gotta be.
Beyond them. Now, does this patent being made public matter to them? Hell no. They know how gacha addiction works. This ain't gonna hurt them much. Even if it was dead to rights that they've used this in every single game they've made, I don't think it would hurt their bottom line that much. And do you think they care about being sued for $9 million? Hell no.
Finals,
the money they got from scamming people was worth a hell of a lot more than $9 million. They straight up would have made less if they didn't have to pay that fine by just playing everything above board, which is crazy to say out loud. As for something like the Winning Derby game I covered, that's easy to look at and go, yep, pile of shit. But for Nexon, unless you've heard the news about this, which, let's keep it a million, how many fucking people pay attention to gacha games?
Wait, isn't Vindictus... Hold up a second. Isn't Vindictus that, like... I'm sure yeah, because it was a second one I think I played, I think. Was it Vindictus 2 or Vindictus something? Where it was almost like... It felt the closest, and that little test that you got to play, it was like almost like a Souls-like game, but I think it's going to be like, have MMO elements to it as well, and stuff like that. I didn't realize they were involved in that.
News, much less how many people in the West are willing to hear about lawsuits in Korea over mechanics and patents for gacha games. And if you haven't heard about it, you're getting scammed.
You know what's happened about that game, actually? They're going quiet.
Is fine with the proposed gacha rates. Supposing that they're using the patent as aside from MapleStory, we don't know with absolute certainty that they're fucking with the rates of their other games. Though I sincerely doubt any lawsuits would stop them from scamming players based.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's at least one game somewhere it's being used to test, you know, just to see what sort of, how it's affected the revenue, if it's working, you know, as just a little social experiment for them. Maybe on one of their smaller titles that they've got a consistent revenue on that can see whether it's impacting it in a sustainable factor that can, like, maybe extrapolate into other titles in the future potentially.
On rates, unless
or it could just be sitting on a shelf. You know, the patent could be,
and lying about rates has been done before by
just to stop other companies potentially doing it.
Maybe not lying about rates. You see, it had banners pertaining to the Chinese zodiac animals, and for the second animal banner, Monkey, the rate to pull her specific rarity was 3%. However, for that 3%, 2 other characters shared a rate up in that pool. Now, at this time, the rates per character were not listed, so all players assumed that the rate up for the 3 characters of that rarity was the same percentage. Then a streamer decided to pull on stream. He proceeded to spend over $6,000 on the Monkey banner to just get 1 copy of her. Homie spent 6 bands on a damn lolly monkey. Both.
Oh. Oh my, it'd be nice to have that sort of money to be like, hey, yo, I'm just going to do a test here, guys. 6 Gs.
Within these roles, he got multiple copies of the other two raid-up characters, and he wasn't alone. Many people had the same experience and even pulled up the numbers to show that the raid-up for the monkey was not anywhere near as much as the other two characters. Naturally, this caused players to go ballistic because even though the rates were never listed, many people were under the impression that the rate for the 3 characters would be equal. And due to the outrage over this, Side Games apologized and made it so the rates per character would be displayed and introduced the sparking system, where if after 300 pulls you did not get the limited character, you can guarantee them. Granted, that still is about $1,000, so Christ. But that still is an improvement. And they also refunded all pulls on the banner that players did, so any pull you spent on it was entirely free. So all in all, they had the best response they could have to this situation. Which, I mean, that's a much better response than Nexon saying—
That's not on Relink, right? That's not on Relink, is it? I know it's Grand Blue Fantasy, but that's just Grand Blue Fantasy and not Relink. Am I tripping?
And they played some hoes and Crunchyroll doing some dumb shit like this to just later bring the game out back and empty a 12 gauge into its cranium. And due to this, a list of guidelines was published that recommended gachas to have their rates listed for players, which meant this was more or less the birth of gachas displaying their character drop rates, so at least it has a good ending. However, that is, within truth, only a brief outlook into the world of gacha game scams, which are not only insanely profitable, but even if you do face investigation or lawsuits, it appears that shit like that won't mean much in the—
Hey, scamming is profitable. There's a reason why there's so many Nigerian princes and call centers around the world, you know? Because it's incredibly profitable, and a lot of the time, governments are usually 2 steps behind things and law enforcement, and when they do actually catch up, the fines that they give out to these corporations, companies, scammers, criminals, if you want to call them, just don't equate to the money they've made. You know what I mean? So it's just like, hey, you know, it's a risk worth taking. At the end of the day, you know, it's like robbing banks and finding out you're only going to get fined for robbing a bank if you make 2 million. If I get fined 500 grand, hey, I'm still at 1.5 million, man. You know, we made out good there.
In the face of the money you can make. And honestly, in saying that, I've come to the realization that that statement doesn't just cover gacha game scams, but honestly, business as a whole. Now, when it comes to the question on if a consumer can do something to fix all this, the answer is no. There's nothing. I'm gonna keep it a million with you. There's not much an
The best way the consumer can, there is a thing the consumer can do to fix it. There is, you know, it's for people to stop spending on games, you know? And hey, I'm here with you, man. I've been spending on games. Well, it was only 15 quid, but I took 15 quid onto Wuthering Waves yesterday. But I've never felt scammed by any game that I've put money onto, because I only put money onto games that I put a lot of time into. And the way I look at it, especially for games free, if I've dumped 100 plus hours into a game and I've put 50 quid into it, I'm like, you know what? I've spent 50 pence per hour to play that. There isn't many things you can do in life nowadays where you can do something for an hour for fun and it costs you 50 pence or 75 cents if you're in America, 80 cents, you know? That's some good fun, man. You know, if you can go out somewhere and get an hour's worth of fun for 75 cents or 50p, you're doing all right, man. You're doing all right.
average player can really do to sway things like this. Much less an average Western player, because after all revenue from the West is a speck of dust when compared to the East. So even if a large-scale protest happened to try and boycott these games, I don't think it would work. An example, the Natlan protest for Genshin.
Yeah.
You had millions of people talking about it, paying attention to it, and
Yeah, but to be fair, though, that was like a subsection of the Western audience itself, wasn't it? You know, obviously, Hoyo are always going to listen to the Chinese audience. But one, it wasn't like it was the majority of the Western audience. You know, I think it's safe to say that, isn't it? At the end of the day, the people who are mad about Natlan and all the stuff regarding Natlan, which we all know about, we've all heard it, like, it was probably, what, 10%, if that, of the Western audience. And even if it was 95% of the Western audience, I would have been like, yeah, carry on with that, we don't care. So it was never going to be anything that changed anything. The only thing that'll ever change the way these sort of games work or make them go away altogether, and I'm not saying I want them to go away necessarily for me personally, because at the end of the day, if service is there and people are willing to pay for it, it's a service that's I wouldn't say required, but it's necessary because people want to do it, don't they? And it's just for people to just stop spending. The second people stop spending money, these companies will be like, right, this is no longer a worthy investment, and they'll fizzle away and they'll move on to something else that they think is a worthy investment.
many participating in it. The result? Nothing. In fact, you had many people who protested Natlan suddenly drop their morals they paraded so much the second it became less popular to say you're boycotting Genshin. Hell,
Yep,
even the
for real.
boycotts of Genshin said it was still fine to play the game. Like, what the hell? And I'm not saying this
Like, there's only part of that where it actually becomes sensible. And I suppose it's less impactful on something like a gacha game, because I would imagine the server strain's a lot less, because there's a lot of stuff that's client side. Obviously, there is stuff that's server side, but there's a lot of stuff that's client side. It's like, if you're playing like a multiplayer game and you want to try and boycott a game in regards to, we're not going to spend money on the premium parts of this game, but guess what? We're going to make sure more people are playing the game daily, because guess what that happens? That costs them more money. They have to pay for servers. You know, it can cost thousands upon thousands upon thousands a month for a company to run servers on massive games, and if they're getting no money back in return, that's a way that you can potentially hurt them, if there's no box price anyway, at least. But you know, it never really works, does it? It never works.
just a shit on the people who play Genshin. I'm just using it as an example to say that, yeah, many of these boycotts and protests don't really pan out. In some cases, it's because they were handed as well as dropping a hydrogen bomb into a dumpster fire, or the company that was being boycotted against just didn't care. Or maybe a large part of the people saying they care about the cause really don't and are just saying that for brownie points. There's many
I have another bad idea, using gacha games for money laundering. The fact that gacha games are basically a casino. If you're a private company, then you can make backdoor deals, especially. Yeah, dude, I would imagine there's a lot of well, not a lot, but I would think there is game companies around the world, specifically stuff that's going through mobile, and not even just games, online digital companies that have a monetized aspect to them. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if there's quite a few of them using them to wash money.
reasons as to why protests don't pan out. And in truth, I don't know if I could really hate the people that genuinely care to protest and later went on to play the game when they saw the protests fade away. Because I do feel a
I
general
don't hate them. I don't even care. I just think you're just fair weather. If you're going to say, well, I'm boycotting this game because I have got the morals, and you grandstand about it, and then you just go on to play the game anyway because it doesn't suit you anymore, all I'm going to say is your morals just really weren't that important anyway, which I'm not necessarily judging you in that regard, because I think most people's morals are quite flexible at the end of the day. We typically have hard line morals, don't we, that we won't go beyond. But when it comes to a lot of stuff in video games and spending and our clothes, we all like to say that we don't like to see people suffering from you know, child labor and all this sort of stuff, and bad work conditions. But we all want that brand new phone. You know, we all want that, you know, cheap as chips clothes. We want stuff to be as cheap as possible. You know, we don't want to be spending $100 on a or 100 quid on a jacket if we can spend $50 and it's the same brand. End of the day, do we? We'll pretend that we care about those people, but our morals will flex enough because it's like, that looks good though, and I want to get it. And you know, we all do that. So I don't necessarily judge the people in that regard. I just think that there's too many people nowadays that love to pretend that they're somehow better than other people because of the morals. And I think a lot of the people in that Genshin boycott had that sort of attitude, and they just went and played the game anyway. That's where I kind of judge them a little bit. It's one thing if you've personally got that thing and you said to yourself, you know what, I'm not playing Genshin because it kind of annoys me. All right, cool. But if you then went online and was telling people you're a fucking wanker for not doing it as well, and you should be ashamed of yourself, and then you went and done it anyway, you're a bit of a D-bag.
sense of resignation can lead people to not caring and just going with the flow. The only people I really dislike when it comes to stuff like this are the ones who will say they care about the cause, knowing full well that when people no longer care about it as much, they would have already cashed in on being one of the most vocal protesters.
Yep.
And from there, business as usual, back to playing the game. I just really dislike when people will parade fake morals for their own gain, which is done abundantly. But
it's when people make a big deal of letting everybody know about it, isn't it? You know? Because we all do have our, what we'd like to consider morals. Whether we always stick to them is one thing. And I don't judge people necessarily for that. Obviously, there's lines with certain things where you go, you're a bad person for that. You know what I mean? And I think we can all see certain things in life where we can say that. But there's plenty of stuff where, in your head, you say you wasn't going to do this or you wouldn't do that because it's not really your thing. And then you find yourself later in life, you've done it. And it's like, well, it doesn't seem so bad now, I guess, because I've kind of shifted a little bit. And maybe I guess I've broke my moral code there, if you will. But it's a different thing if you've gone on and shouted at a bunch of people for doing the same thing and then you do it, because then it's like, well, you're a hypocrite now.
That's why I think protests against things like this might not do much. End of the day, the most we could do as consumers is vote with our wallet. But when one whale's wallet holds the weight of 2,000 players, how much does your vote matter? And
well, I don't know. I think it does matter. I think if enough of the majority stop spending on something, even the people who like are that big of whales they will eventually stop spending, because even whales to some degree will be like, well, I'm not going to spend on this because it's going to be dead soon and nobody else cares about it, kind of thing. But like games like Hoyo games and stuff are just at that level that doesn't matter how many people try and boycott it. There's enough people in certain regions that just won't care about your viewpoint.
Honestly, fuck, I didn't mean for the end of this video to become depressing. Jesus, I just want to joke about gacha game scams. But there is definitely something to be said about how much a player's opinion matters in situations like this, which I might dive into more in a future video. That seems like a pretty interesting topic. As I wouldn't say it's worthless,
I like this video, actually.
It's complex and I wouldn't be able to sum up my thoughts here. But hey, to end this video on a bright note, just know that regardless of how much you fuck up in life, at least you're not the people who decided to rip off Uma Musume using AI art.
I'm coming for you, undercover.
You know, that was a great video. That was actually, guys. If you haven't already checked out his channel, you should definitely check him out. I really enjoyed that. Actually, that's definitely getting a like from me. Yeah, let's talk about the countless gacha game scams. Good video. Good video. There has been. Just going back for me, that one with the Harry Potter Magic Awaken, man, that was sleazy as hell. That was, wasn't it? But like, here we got this deal on, buy these gems, man. You get double of them, and you can buy all the stuff you want in the game. And then not long after, they're like, oh, by the way, you got to use real cash for that stuff now. Oh, have you still got those gems? Well, you'll have to go and spend them on these other items, I guess. Because I'm assuming, because he said they didn't become worthless, they become worth less. So it looked like you could probably spend them on other stuff. You just couldn't spend them on particular things that they were sold as initially, which is scammy and scummy. But yeah, great video that was, guys. You should check out Sunil. Show him some love. That was a good video. I enjoyed that. Human often has double standards on anything and also often calls it morals. Yeah, this is true. This is true. That's why for me, like, you know, when it comes to video games, I say this when it comes to like the plagiarism stuff I do. I am a selfish consumer at the end of the day. You know, I'm not going to make a song and dance and pretend that I care enough about particular things. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm one of those people as well. I don't want to see people suffering for things. But at the end of the day as well, you're still going to buy that stuff, aren't you? You just are, like, you know, there's enough of a disconnect between you and the actual hardship that might be going on for some people that you do that. And then as well, sometimes you'll hear that it's hardship from certain people's point of views. And I've seen, like, you know, from certain places around the world, and people have spoke about the jobs that they've got that we consider like, dude, they're pretty much working like slave labor almost. They turn around and go like, but without this, we'd have nothing. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, yeah, when it comes to those sort of things in video games, that's why I never jump on boycott bandwagons, because they just don't work. And most of the time, I don't care enough about the thing that people are angry about. And if something's that egregious in a video game, in regards to, it's typically, you know, something that's usually a bad consumer product, really, rather than it being like, oh, a developer said something naughty who works for the company, well, I ain't playing that game anymore. Or, oh, this doesn't have enough representation, well, I ain't playing that game anymore. It's usually for me that this game is not worth my time, or it's a rip-off, and then I'll be like, I'll just stop playing the game. I'll never get online and make a song and dance about it, because no one gives a fuck. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Too many people think their opinion matters nowadays, don't they? It's a problem. Everybody's got an opinion. Like arseholes, ain't they? And most of them stink. But anyway, on a lighter note, a shorter note, should we check out this video for Zenly Zone Zero, shall we? Let's have a little look then, because I still haven't played 1.2. We're going to play it. We did watch a video yesterday that I want to try and get uploaded as well, talking about some of the issues with 1.2, actually, and it's the removal of the TV system and what they've implemented now in regards to that part of the game, and it kind of being an issue. And looking at what I've saw of it, I think it's temporary, and I think they will make it better. And my idea was that you'll probably see at the end of that video where I got paint out and it's terrible. I'm not very good at using it. And the melding of those two things for me is having some points around the level when you're doing your thing that you actually interact with, you know, a computer or something, and you go into like the TV system, and there's a little thing there just in terms of like a small little puzzle or something. But anyway, that's got nothing to do with this video, has it? Let's check this video out then from Legion Gacha, guys. We have watched Legion's videos before, but for Wuthering Waves, he's got a little separate channel. It seems to be specifically for Zenly Zone Zero, but I'm assuming there's for other stuff as well. But new leaks, 1.3 Yanagi and Loiter W engine details, massive value. Let's check it out because I am a fan of this game actually, and we're going to get on to 1.2 very soon.
Another Zenly Zone Zero update.
Let me rewind that because I missed the start.
Alright guys, welcome back to another Zenly Zone Zero update video
What up?
with some brand new leaks and updates. Today
Okay,
we're
let's
going to
go.
go over all the 1.3 W engine details for both Yanagi and Caesar.
Damn.
So in the past few weeks we've had a bunch of 1.3
I do want to get
information
Caesar.
on the new
And
1.3
Burnings,
characters,
actually.
their kit details, their animations. But today we're going to go over all the new info on the W engines for these characters, and we can determine the value of these engines as well. Before we start, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and put on those notifications on to be kept updated right away. I'm also planning to do a free Caesar giveaway once the channel reaches 2,000 subs.
Hey, I say this every time I see Belle. I love Belle's design. I think she's such a cool protagonist design. And that's one thing I do like about Zenly Zone Zero as well, is you're not the hero, you're not the chosen one, you're just a normal person basically who would get your head kicked in by everybody else on the team. I just love her design though, man. I think she's such a cool character. She's cute, she's well designed, she's well animated, great character.
Subs,
Wise,
which we should be pretty close, I believe, at the time of me recording this video. We are 300 subs away, so we should be hitting this milestone before the Caesar banner ends.
Yeah, Legion's killing
For me
it
to
on
be
this channel
able
as
to
well,
give a
man.
lucky subscriber a free Caesar. Always love giving back to you guys. But alright, let's get on to the video, guys, and check out the new information on the W engines. So this is what they're looking like right now, but they are subject to change, so keep that in mind. As you know, they always do some kit changes, some balance changes, some nerfs and buffs. But right now,
I just want to pause it. Whatever effect that Legion uses on his videos, I'm not a fan. It makes them look very muddy. It's not important because his content's great, but I just
this is what the W engines are going to look like. Starting off with Yanagi's engine details. Increases electric anomaly buildup rate by 30%.
okay.
Increases anomaly by 75 whenever EX attack hits a enemy. And when anomaly mastery is above 400, disorder damage is increased by 25%.
Oh, that's cool.
Seems like a really good tailored Yanagi.
That's cool.
And also pretty much a good W engine for any
The end. Obviously, this probably like pops out and opens up. That's like a Mitsubishi design in it. It's kind of basic looking, but obviously it'll probably have some cool animations to it. Because this is one thing that I think's a weak part of this game. You know, some of the obviously the signature ones and the S rank ones look cool. They do, but they're just, I don't know, man. I'm not the biggest fan of the engine design premise in this game. You know, the theme, whatever you want to call it in this game. It's not that big on it.
any electric character. That electric anomaly buildup rate by 30% is a good stat to have for any electric character. And here we have a visual detail of the W engine here. And as you can see, we only know that it's a type anomaly and the rarity is S rank, of course. And then we have the rest of the effects, which I just went over. Also, I gotta say, this effect right here, the anomaly mastery, when the anomaly mastery
Mitsubishi, right?
is above 400, disorder damage is increased by 25%. That is actually a very good effect. But overall, do I recommend you pulling
Oh,
for
no, yeah,
this?
popping
I would
dump
say
valve
not yet.
noises when you're
We
running
should
around.
wait for the final changes. And so far, it's not a must pull unless you really like Yanagi. Like for me, Yanagi is probably going to be one of my favorite characters, which I'll be a little bit more inclined in getting this weapon for her. But other than that, we'll see what else are
Those
the
are cool.
options for her if it's not too bad. But yeah, guys, so we went over Yanagi's W engine. Now we can go take a look at Lighter's W engine. So here are the effects. When quick and defensive assist are triggered, impact is increased. When basic attack hits a enemy,
that move, she's
accumulates
spamming
stacks
that, yeah.
up to a maximum of 20 stacks.
Okay,
And each stack increases the whole team's crit damage
it's nice.
for ice and fire attribute damage. Oh, now this
It's always
this
nice to
is
get
very
team-wide
valuable.
attributes.
Okay, so each stack increases the whole team's crit damage for ice and fire attribute damage. I actually just got done reading.
Yo, that effect was cool actually there. Can't really see it this great on this video college, but that effect was cool there, that was.
The kit for Lighter. I just made the video on it today. And seeing Lighter's kit, he has a lot of synergy with other elements, like the electric element and the ice element. And now after reading his W engine, he is going to be buffing both the crit damage for ice and fire attribute damage, so basically the ice and fire element users. But at the same time, this effect is a bit more situational, as you're forced to run him with ice element users on the team. So Caesar's synergy with fire and ice damage units are going to be really good. But let's say you want to run him with Zhu Yan for either damage, well, you're going to be losing value with his kit.
Well, that's fine though, you know, particular characters having more synergy with, you know, different attributes is totally fine.
And this W engine as well, as she will not be getting.
Dude, I love
the
that like
crit
kind of
damage
shadow
stacks,
effect she's got.
but
It's
we
kind,
do
it's
not
like
have the
a
numbers on
Jane
it yet.
Doe's
So it
almost,
says
but
here,
blue.
when basic attack hits an enemy, you will be accumulating stacks, and it's going to be to a maximum of 20 stacks. We do not have a number on how much crit damage a one stack provides, but I'm guessing, let's say 25 crit damage, that's my guess. Or maybe since it's situational, it's going to be 30%, a little bit higher, as not anyone can use this crit damage. So it might be higher since it's situational and a little more restrictive. And here is the lighter engine, what it looks like. We have it's a stun type, so only stun characters can use it. And we actually do have the stats for this one. The base attack, 713 base attack, and the impact, 18% impact, and a S rank, of course. Now, we did not have the main stat for Yanagi's W engine, but I'm sure we'll get the info soon. And also, one thing to note, I want to go back to the effect here. When quick and defensive assists are triggered, impact is increased. We do not have the number, but I remember looking at Lighter's kit earlier, and he did a lot of things with the quick and defensive assist. So him getting more impact, depending on how much it is, will be good value. But other than that, guys, so that is pretty much all the info for the Lighter W engine and Yanagi's W engine. Let me know down below in the comments, will you be pulling for these engines, or are you simply going for the characters alone? Now remember, these are subject to change.
Like, she's cool, but those attributes for him are not terrible, man. Those buffs are good, especially as somebody who likes using Ellen. She looks, you know, the waifu meta always gets me though, boys. The waifu meta always gets me. What's my favorite game of all time? I don't know, man.
And they usually do a lot of little changes here and there. Especially the W engines, they tweak a lot of stuff, the characters as well. So if anything else comes up, I'll update you guys as soon as possible. So that's why you make sure to subscribe, put those notifications on. I'll keep you guys updated right away. If you guys remember all the changes they did on Bernice and Caesar before they came out, there was a lot of buffs, a lot of nerfs on their kits and their W engines. So I made a lot of update video for you guys, and I'll for sure do the same for both Yanagi and Lighter. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you plan on doing. Me so far, if you ask me, what are my plans? I would say, well, usually I'm not a must pull on engines, as I always prioritize a character over an engine, or pretty much I do this in any game. I always prioritize.
Actually, that's a question to people. Like, are you a roster expander, or, you know, does stacking weapons for your current roster matter more to you? Because I'm definitely a roster. I think majority of people probably are, aren't they? You know, in terms of you know, what's more important. I think expanding the roster. One, it's more fun. You know. Two, obviously there's more variety. And three, I think it benefits you more in the long run than having like a hyper focused specific couple of characters as well, doesn't it? Because, you know, like, it gets to a point where, you know, content starts being catered in specific time frames for specific characters as well, doesn't he? For me, definitely characters over weapons, but it's always nice to be able to get the weapon as well, isn't it?
Let's say in HSR, I would always prioritize a new character over a Lycone, or for a game like Wuthering Waves, I would always go for a new character instead of a weapon, because the weapon isn't as a big deal as a whole new character, at least in my eyes.
Well, I think it depends, obviously, specifics, you know. Sometimes some weapons can be insane, and they can make a particular point of a bottleneck that you're at not be a bottleneck anymore in terms of clearing something. But usually, in general, you'll probably get a bit more benefit from a new character, won't you?
But sometimes there are a few exceptions. I really like Yanagi, so I might be inclined to pull for her W engine. We'll see, maybe down
Yeah, I
the
do like the
line
look
they
of
will
her, though. She
actually
looks
buff
cool.
the engine, it'll look even better. And regarding Lidar's engine, since it's a bit situational, I might not pick it up, as I prefer weapons that I can switch around, put it on anyone. And looking at the Lidar's W engine, it's very restrictive to only ice and fire units, at least on your team, for the crit damage buff, which is basically the main gimmick of the engine, giving high crit rate to specific elements. But we'll see if they change it. And
Depends if the trade-off though, doesn't it? You know, if it's a big jump from a general buff across everybody to being a little bit more specific and it being a little bit more a deeper buff, then you know that might sway people.
make it a more universal W engine. But for now, guys, that is pretty much all for this video. If you guys enjoy and want to keep being updated on everything Zenless Zone Zero, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, put those notifications on. I'll keep you guys
We're gonna
updated.
do some Zenless probably over
And
the
also
weekend.
a
Actually,
reminder, a
gotta get
giveaway at
1.2
2,000
done. Gotta get it
subscribers
done.
for a free Caesar. And how it's gonna work is I'm gonna pick a random lucky winner in the comment section, which the video will be a dedicated video for the giveaway alone. But alright guys, that is all for this video. Thanks
giving
for
away a
watching,
free
and I'll see you
Caesar?
all in the next one.
How'd you do that then? Like, you know, when people do giveaways like that, how do they do
Alright.
that for a character? You know, I don't understand how they do it. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, good video. Yanagi looks cool, actually. I think like his engine doesn't look too terrible, actually. Somebody who likes using Ellen as well. I guess I'm a little bit more biased in that regard. But yeah, we're going to be getting back on Zenless Zone Zero over the weekend, checking out 1.2, checking out what it's like without the TV system as a part of the story. As somebody who's a TV system enjoyer, not how it was implemented, but I do enjoy the TV system. Free season we're going to give away. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, how'd you make that a thing? You know what I mean? How do you guarantee that somebody's getting? How do I get you a Caesar on your account? I always wonder that when I hear people say that. I'm like, well, you're going to spend a couple of grand. Well, you know, you're going to get you're going to give them enough pulls to guarantee to file the 50-50 and then guarantee. I don't understand how they do it. Bricklayer Bros, raise up. What's my favorite character? What across all games, across gacha games? What we're talking here? What we're talking? Favorite character in what regard? For real though, I always think that. Here, people's like, "Oh, we're gonna do a character giveaway," and I'm like, "How the fuck's that work?" I mean, I'm just a smooth brain, but I'm just like, "How?" You know, I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah. Let's get on to Wuthering Waves anyway. It's 3:15, man. I want to at least start it. I want to at least start this this story. Oh, I know. I think he used loot bar. But how does that specifically work then? How? Would you just send somebody the on loot bar? There's a pack for guaranteed pulls for a banner. Oh, what? So you can pay a set price and then you send people the. You can send people the tapes or whatever. Basically, get enough pool resourcing with it. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, I'll get it. I'll get it. I used to do. I've done giveaways on my channel before. Like, you know, I've done random giveaways as well. To be fair, because like I used to get a lot of keys for games, and I ain't got it at the minute. I used to have Humble pretty much every month, and sometimes it'd just be games I'd either got or I just weren't interested, and I'd be like, you know what, I'm just gonna give this away, man. If anybody wants it, you can have it. Yeah, I never really been one for advertising giveaways because, like, just, you know, some people it works, like, you know, but for me, I just think people just come for the giveaway, which in a bad thing. I don't judge people for that. I just think it's pointless. Ain't got nothing, anything against people doing it though. Well, there he comes. How's things as well anyway though, Roy? I don't think I said hello to you, dude. I don't think I said hello to you. I replied to a couple of your comments, but I don't think I actually said hello to you. Hello, hi. How you doing? Everybody ready for the weekend anyway? Boys. Some PSG ultras turned up to a five-a-side pitch in London to support some random lads having a kickabout. Yeah, let's have a look at this, man. This is cool. This is cool.
Had a kickabout on UCL night. Didn't expect the PSG Ultras to show up.
Let me bring this up so you guys can see this. That's pretty cool. That's pretty
On
cool.
UCL night. Didn't expect the PSG Ultras to show up.
Just some random lads having a kickabout on a pitch somewhere in London. And PSG fans turned up when they were playing Arsenal to, you know, show some love, I guess. I like that. That's cool. Hey, Stutz, how's it going, fella? Welcome to the stream. Can't wait for Camilla kit. Yes, I am looking forward to Camilla's kit. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Can you use third-party sites to gear the gems? I think so, because I've seen some people have, like, you know, some people have like obviously sponsors on their videos where they're like, I can't remember what the site's called. Is it that loot bar? It might be, or another one like that. Where they're like, you know, go if you're gonna be buying like asteroids or freaking prima gems, whatever currency on any of the major gacha games, you get to the website and you can buy them. Yeah, you basically get the 180 pulls. Okay. Like, I probably wouldn't use these sites. Yeah, it's that loot bar GG. Yeah, that's one I think I've seen Steorg and that doing. And I think maybe Kazahana. Oh, see that? Oh shit! They do like you know, Genshin, FC 25 stuff, Star Rail, Wuthering Waves. Okay, so yeah, they use, somebody said this before, they use currency difference, don't they? One of the primary reasons for our competitive pricing is the difference in currency exchange rates. We source our products from regions where the local currency allows us to purchase at a lower cost, and we pass this savings on to you. Promotions and discounts, we regularly offer coupons and special discounts to our customers. These promotions help us provide competitive prices. We assure you that all our products are safe, genuine, and sourced from authorized distributors. Is what it is, I guess. I still wouldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it, man. Do you know what I mean? Problem is, we still can't give third-party buy from UID alone, so it's still not safe. Oh, really? Yeah, whenever I see it, man, I'm just like, need login credentials. Fuck that. This game still ain't got 2FA, has he? So it's like, no way. I wouldn't do that shit even if with 2FA on. Or, yeah. Scrap that. Scrap that. Need shave, man. Drinking that shake's all getting me fucking tash. How's things anyway, though, Sutzer? Ready for the weekend, laddie? Ready for the weekend? Doing anything nice, are you, Squire? Ooh, can we just watch something before we get into it, boys? It's a Sticks video. It's a Sticks video.
When a new game launches...
I haven't played this game. But I always like a little bit of game drama going on. The fake Grand Order developers have lost their minds. Have they? All right, let's have a look how bad it is.
Publicly, everyone has access to not only play the game, consume its content, but stream it and create videos on it. That is the purpose of releasing a game to the public. Fate Grand Order, as of 9 days ago, has decided that in Japan, at least, this isn't pertaining to global, but in Japan, they are banning players from posting story or event related spoilers.
This isn't the first time we've saw this, though, is it? This isn't the first time at all. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate ya. Welcome, welcome. Persona did this, didn't they? Didn't Persona do this where they were actually hitting people up when they were like when the game first came out? Like you could make videos and stream the content up to a certain point, couldn't you? And then like past a particular mission, they were hitting people, weren't they? For I guess like I've got spoilers, I guess kind of thing. So this isn't the first time this has happened. It's always an odd thing to do. I think I get it. If the game's out in public, it's out in public. You know, it's a great way to advertise your game. I genuinely don't think people who are interested in a story game and the story means a lot to them and the story being spoiled is going to make them, you know, they're going to watch a stream and be like, oh, that's it now, I can't buy the game. And even if it is a stream that they're really interested in the story, because back in the day when I used to stream, sometimes new games would come out and I'd stream it day one and I'd have regulars come in and say, oh, I ain't going to watch today picks because like I'm getting the game myself and I don't want to be spoiled. People will just do that. So like stop people doing it with copyright strikes as well. It's a little bit archaic nowadays, isn't it?
This has caused Fate Grand Order YouTubers to not only privatize, but also remove videos from their channels following copyright strikes. These are not copyright claims. These are genuine strikes that affect the standing of your channel and will result in a full termination. That means that the Fate Grand Order devs are actually getting YouTubers that are directly creating content
and this
on
is
their
only
game,
for JP,
helping promote their game, banned from YouTube, all because they decided that they were going to release content on stories and events that are once again public, or at least that's what I've gathered from this. If that's not the case, let me know down in the comments below, but that is what I am led to believe from reading through this title. I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of that though.
I just think this sort of attitude, to be fair though, a lot of JP side of things, developers, publishers, they're a little bit more old-fashioned, aren't they? Now I don't know if this is a JP game. I'm not too sure wherever it's made or produced. Obviously, this is for JP. The issue is, it's just in 2024, in the world that we have now, where so many games that would have just been middling games, low sales games that would have gone under everybody's radar, have blown up to huge numbers because of streamers, because of YouTubers. Like, you just think that game companies nowadays just would, you know, whatever. Maybe the potential, possibly, we might lose a couple of sales because one person might tune into the favorite streamer one day and be like, oh no, I can't buy that game anymore. You know, I just don't think it's going to happen. You know, I think if it's that important to them, they'll hop out the stream. And if they really want the game, even if there's a little spoiler here or there, they'll just be like, oh, whatever, it is what it is kind of thing. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna get it anyway. My bad for jumping in the stream. I saw they were playing the game that I wanted to get anyway. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Either way, by reading through all of this. Now, if this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel.
It's
hitting
free
the little bell
promotion
notification
nowadays,
that way
isn't
you
it?
remain up to date
You know what I
with
mean?
every single thing that I post.
Game
and I post
companies can
daily.
save so much
Do not
money in
miss out.
marketing
This
nowadays,
is the
just
first
letting
time that Fate
streamers and
Grand Order
content
has
creators
been in
make
a little bit of
content
hot
about the
water,
thing.
though. 2 months ago, people started sending them some very graphic threats due to the new appends that were in the game. There was another incident in the same month. This blew up out of control. I don't want to discuss those though. They happened 2 months ago. What I want to discuss is this. Areas
Ever going to threaten developers with violence or death, or their family members with violence or death? You need help. Stop it. Get some help. Go touch grass. You know, go to the doctors. Book yourself in. You've got problems.
Is where videos cannot be distributed or posted. Please refrain from streaming or posting videos containing the following content. Main story, part 2, chapter 5, Lost Belt number 5, The Age of the Gods, Atlantis, the Ocean, The Day the Gods are shot down, and onwards. So, main story, this is as an example. If Genshin launches patch 5.1, WuWa launches patch 1.3, Zenless launches patch 1.2, and you want to stream the new patch, you want to upload your reaction to the new patch, the content in the patch, you can't do that. You are physically unallowed to. You cannot upload content that everyone.
Well, you're not physically unallowed to, because you could literally do it. They've told you not to, you know? It's like your mum saying, don't do that. And you're like, what happens if I do? You know? But dude, I just don't get it nowadays. I don't get it. I genuinely, are they sitting there thinking we're going to lose lots of money if we let people stream this? It's just, it's people are going to see and they're going to be like, well, what's the point in buying it now?
Everyone else already has access to. You cannot upload content
Unless it's
that
bad.
everyone is already consuming. You cannot upload or stream videos containing the main interlude. Part 2, Chapter 5.5, Hell Mandala, Hanyekyo, Thunder Flash, Non-Primate, Living Zone,
It's like very specific parts of the game as well, isn't it? This is kind of what Persona did, though. I remember this. It was like a big
fantasy
thing.
of life and death. You cannot stream or post videos containing the event.
I don't think it's a thing anymore,
limited
like, because the game's been out for a while.
Events. Those where the participation condition is not clearing Part 1 Singularity F Burning Contaminated City Fuyuki. You cannot do limited time events. These are events.
That's
These
weird,
are
isn't it?
largely unrelated to this.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in that meeting to understand the mentality behind that. To see if it, okay, all right, sucks, but I guess I can see why you're coming up with that decision.
Story. These are side activities. Or at least I believe they're side activities. After having played as many gacha games as I haven't really participated in events that were directly tied into the story, where if you missed that event, then you would have no understanding of what was going on in the story.
How the fuck are you supposed to remember all that? You need this literally next to you on your other monitor, don't you, and playing the game of like, and it's even if the game lets you know that that's at the particular point you're at, you know, is the game, as you go through, do you actually physically know when you're going into that particular chapter? Oh, right, I'm at 5.5 health. Hell Mandela, Hianakio, Thunder Flash, right, that's it, gotta cut the stream off, guys, see you later. Let me just play through this off stream, or I'm gonna black screen it, guys. You can see my reaction to it, but I can't show you. Once we get past 6.5, we're good to go again.
Stream or post videos containing the interlude story, sound player, I don't know what that means, opening animations, so no reactions whatsoever to the opening. The part 1 and
what? No reaction to the opening anime. Is it just shit? Part 1 ending credits. Like, they're being really specific about specific things, like they're folk. Hey, you know, we're not saying you can't stream the game, but you can't stream the start, you can't stream the bit just after the start, you can't stream this specific mission here, that specific mission there, you're not allowed to do this side content, you can't do that event, you can't do this ending credit party, you can't do Olga Marie's quest, but everything else, have fun, man, have fun. How are you supposed to, like, get across that minefield?
ending credits. Crafting essences that can be obtained when each servant's bond level reaches level 10. Illustrations and flavor text showing the entire craft essence. So you can't even show what your character looks like when they obtain the max bond level. These restrictions are insane, and doing so will get you hit with a copyright strike, which could delete your entire channel. What? Holy crap. They are...
Hey, I hope content creators will stay away from it altogether then. You know, if they're going to threaten them like that, it'd be cool to see. It seems like this is only in Japan as well, which is kind of weird. That's odd. Yeah, but that's one of those things where I hope content creators just don't like cover your game then. And then after you're thinking, well, fuck, well, that would have been some nice free marketing. Guess we'll have to pay for it now.
Crazy. These devs are fucking psycho. I'm glad this doesn't pertain to global. I really am. But God,
And that's it. You can milk that now, can't you? Because you can be like, hey, they can't watch it over there. So come here, come to me.
damn, Japan, what is wrong with you? Let's continue on. Before we go any further, let me take a moment here to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube
We're
channel
free over
members.
here.
Will allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are
Well, we can't say that. Put a meme on the internet nowadays in the UK and you'll have a knock on the door.
phenomenal, and I can't thank you all enough for the support. Now let's keep talking. These guidelines are subject to revision without notice, so they can be altered. They can add things to these restrictions, and they do not need to update you. They do not need to let you know. What this means is,
Which, to be fair, all of this stuff, it's technically within their rights, you know? It's not like when you're reacting, like how I'm reacting to Styx's content now, because it's content that's put up onto YouTube. Of course, if I just re-uploaded Styx's content, that's totally different. But the fact that I'm, you know, I'm putting my input into it. It's becoming a different form of content in itself. That's why reaction content's massive on YouTube, and it's been proved time and time again on YouTube. And I think in court that you know what's it considered as now? I forgot the fucking wording is. But it's totally cool. But when it comes to video games, you are technically not supposed to be doing what you're doing. But video game companies have realized it for a long time now that it serves them such a benefit that they actively now pay people who are big enough to cover their content, don't they? You know, it's like, this is such an alien concept to us nowadays, isn't it? Because we live in a world where the game companies have realized this is such a good thing for them, YouTube and content creators. But some of these companies just obviously haven't got the memo.
covering any fake Grand Order content in any capacity within Japan could at any point in the future result in the termination of your entire YouTube channel, your career on YouTube, your entire future.
It was on the tip of my
I
tongue.
hope that this video doesn't get copyright struck. But I guess all I'm showing is their announcement. Their
hey, you never know,
notification of
dude.
it. So I should
There might be some wording in this somewhere that says, oh, by the way, as well, you can't react to this content.
okay, as long as I don't show any gameplay or any spoilers or discuss anything in any capacity. Please note that as a general rule, videos posted after the guidelines are established must conform to the guidelines at the time of video posting. Videos that were distributed or posted before these guidelines were established do not apply to these guidelines. If you are a corporate customer, including individuals who have contacted with a company to distribute.
Okay, at least they're not doing that then. At least they're saying, no, now we've let you know if you've already uploaded this sort of content, we're not going to come after you posts the information drop. So
videos.
I suppose they're being nice there, aren't they?
Agency or production company would like to post a gameplay video, please contact the following support desk. So you can post videos, but you have to contact their
You have to be
support,
vetted.
and you have to get the.
So this makes me think, when I see stuff like this, all I think is they are not confident in the product. You're not allowed to discuss, record, react, show all of these particular parts of the product unless you contact them and they vet you. And I would imagine they'd ask for the content beforehand or give you a bunch of stipulations in what you have to do before you can do that content. That just says that just says to me, we're not confident in what we're putting out here, and we're not confident it's going to make us look great in how a lot of these creators react to the said content.
Green light from them directly. You can't just post a video. No, you have to upload a video. Finally set it as unlisted. Then you have to email live support or the support desk. Then you have to ask them for permission to post your video. They will then look at your video and decide whether or not they deem your video appropriate. Whether that's tomorrow, next week, or next month. Because we don't know how long it will take for them to verify whether or not your video qualifies to be posted.
It's just like, why would anybody want to make content in that sort of space? Like, fuck that.
Will very likely result in the death of your video. If you're uploading time-sensitive content, you need to get that video out as soon as possible. If you're uploading event content, a new patch, new story, People want to see this immediately. They don't want to wait a month out to see what's going on. Please note, we cannot answer inquiries regarding whether the content of the video you plan to post is within the scope of permission based on these guidelines. So, wait, what? That makes absolutely, so you can't even ask? What? Oh my, okay, sure. Here looks to be an, what?
No questions, no answers. We don't do that here, right? You just put it through and we'll let you know. We might not even let you know. We might just say, yeah, put it up, but really, it's not okay to put it up when we're going to copyright strike you anyway.
A Discord message, or no, a comment posted on YouTube. Hello, I just wrote down a letter to you. Actually, I got a warning and removal request from Sony Music 2 hours ago for my videos relating to Ordeal Call 3. I'm just wondering, this is because my videos are related with the battles for Ordeal Call 3. You and other YouTubers are okay from this issue. Could you give me some clues why I got copyright requests from Sony Music? Have you ever experienced similar situations like me? So I want to know how to resolve the copyright issue, like do not making profit form video. If you see my message, please reply to me. I also don't profit from YouTube since last year. I don't know if this has anything to do with it. I have not received warnings about this, but I will let you know. So this person, I'm assuming he didn't get a copyright strike, he got a copyright claim, and therefore can't monetize his video. It looks like here this person is saying, I don't care about spoiling, I just want to tell you that uploading the
Dude, sometimes claims do my freaking head in on YouTube, though. You know, like, the amount, like, it still happens to this day. I'll get claims on videos that are 6 years and older, and it's just like, what's the fucking point? I've been paid from them years ago. They're not earning money anymore. What's the point? Are you thinking they're going to get a second wind or something? Well, holy shit.
latest story is a violation of guidelines. It was recently instituted, announced on the 9th anniversary. Everyone should have seen it, and the change was notified on the title screen, but it seems many foreigners aren't. I guess it's truly extraterritorial. If it's really, as you said, an Aniplex would ban me over this, then it's even better for me. I'd finally be free. Aniplex is not gonna act. If you violate it, you'll just be deleted, your YouTube videos and your accounts. It's a lighter action than what Aniplex would do, but don't you understand that it's the heaviest action you get? So what they're implying that Aniplex would go as far as suing the person for violating the new terms of service? Is that what I'm getting? Hey y'all, the strikes on another channel are unfortunately legitimate. As such, we have removed all content on this channel that violates the guidelines for streaming and posting fake Grand Order gameplay videos as written here. So it seems like the strikes, plural, are legitimate. That is absolute insanity. In what world do they think it is acceptable to copyright strike?
Like, the thing is as well, you've got the tools on YouTube now to block videos in specific territories without claiming copyrights, because I get that happen sometimes. I don't know how specific, I don't know if it's, and I don't think it is. It's not, no, it's definitely along copyright guidelines, because sometimes there's videos that I've put up in the past where they've got music in the video, say whether it's in a game or it's music that I've added to the video or accidentally through a stream, I've gone onto something and some music's been playing in the background and it's not been considered incidental inclusion, and I'll get an email, your video's been copyright claimed, and then, you know, I'll look on it and it's been blocked in certain territories, and then it'll have a list of all the territories it's blocked in, basically, you know, and your video's still playable, it doesn't affect you, it's just it won't play in these territories. And it's like, why can't they just do that instead of striking people? Why can't they just get it blocked in the particular region that don't want people posting about it? You know, so somebody, a JP content creator, can still get the benefit of covering the game, but just can't, you know, obviously it won't help if they don't speak English, I guess, but if they speak English, they could at least get the content out to North America and Europe and China and wherever else. It seems a real ham-fisted way to go about it, and a real vicious way to go about it as well.
A content creator's videos based off of content that is publicly accessible. That is the most obnoxious, horrifying precedent set within Japan for the gacha scene right now. That is a severe abuse of power. This isn't them requesting.
Like, I can't remember when it came to Persona now, if there were strikes or they just blocked people's videos that were claiming them. I can't remember.
No, this is them not reaching out to you at all.
I can't remember if they actually went through with it for most people either. But I know they did threaten a lot of people.
Numerous different content creators for content that everyone has access to. That is the dumbest shit I have ever heard. And I can't believe that Fake Grand Order still continues to make as much money as they do after how poorly they treat not only their players, but also the content creators that are continuing.
End of the day, man. If you want to be a whipping boy and you can continue to be a whipping boy, guess what, man? You're gonna get whipped, you know.
To bring in
It pays as well.
They're
Pays to
continuing
play.
build communities for the game. You guys need to do better. This is fucked up. Hey, you. Where do you think?
Yeah, not great, is it that? Not great at all. Fate Grand Order developers have lost their minds. They fucking have. That's wild. No need at all. Just no need. Savage? Jeez. Damn. They're not fucking around. The fuck? Oh, I think my game's crashed. Oh, no. Just lagging like a motherfucker. I still haven't bought the part of the podcast, actually. We are not going to get much time to play these today, actually, man. I am a douchebag. I do apologise. Right, we won't fuck around with our wayplays right now. We'll just go straight in. Start this Jinzari Rising Black Shores Act Shores 1 Act 8. Let's go. Where is he? Did you see that? Get the game lagged then as I press going onto the map. Fucking Chang Li just took that like a champ, bro. Okay. Alright. Let's go. She needs some milk. Dude, I don't know why this still does this game.
Make it fast.
Like the first 30 seconds of logging into the game, it just has to lag like a mofo. Hey, Juhu!
Well, look who I bumped into. A Midnight Ranger.
Oh, we're not on auto.
Ah, Rover, you're finally here.
It's crazy how different Yang Yang sounds.
So you're the Rover, huh? Delighted to make your acquaintance.
This is Yuhu from Jinzhou. Like Mr. Chunpei, she's an expert in antiques.
That's me.
Oring is an antiques expert here.
To uncover clues about hidden antiques, of course. Since Mount
I want to just
Firmament
notice that with her
reopened,
eyebrows.
Master and I noticed artifacts from there popping up in the market. Aside from Court of Savante gadgets, there are still plenty of mystery items that don't exactly scream
Mine's been like this
Mount
since
Firmament,
launch.
you
It's
know?
never changed. For about 15 to 20 seconds, whenever I log into the game,
So?
I get insane lag. I think what's actually happening is everything's rendering in. I get server ping spikes as well, but it's not actually registering. But now and again, I do see the ping register, and I'll see it go from like 30 ping to 100 plus ping. And yeah, I don't know why it does it so much, man. Especially on my rig as well. Once it's done, and the game runs buttery smooth then, like, or same thing every time. And I'm on an SSD as well, so.
So I'm betting they're from the port city of Guizhou.
Yes. I remember you mentioned wanting to learn more about your past ties to the Black Shores. The battle in Norfolk Barrens is over, and the Black Shores should
She
be
sounded like
withdrawn.
AI, didn't she, man?
They've
Remember when the
asked
game
some
first came out?
Midnight Rangers to monitor
Jeez.
the area around the port city of Guizhou. I thought this might be your chance to get
I like you,
more
who's design,
information
I do.
about them. Huh? You brought it up before.
Aw, Yang Yang's got a soft spot for you, huh? Are you her special someone?
Hey, you know.
Oh, come on. I just know it means a lot to you.
If it fits or sits.
Relax, I'm just teasing. So, you're tracking the Black Shores too?
I still have this Blake Bloom that Auto gave me. This should lead me right to them, right? Not waifuable enough.
Since we're on the same trail, how about teaming up? Let this master be your guide. You and me, dream team.
I like how her
Nothing's gonna
hands
slow
are
us
like
down.
ice. And then she got the gloves on. That's a cool little design. That's a little dramatic to say the least. What whistled?
Not to boast, but epic adventures tend to have a way of finding me.
Since Rover's here, let's talk to that bloom bearer first.
Okay.
Go get him! Are we going up?
Right, mate.
That's weird. These parameters are correct, but nothing's happening. What's going on?
Are you sure? Are you a bloom bearer from the Black Shores?
Yes. Need something?
I like her. I like her voice acting.
Oh, so you're the one Alto invited earlier.
The one and only.
Oh, sorry. I didn't recognize you. Golden Pupils and this Blake Bloom. Yeah, it's you all right.
Unreal
I'm
Engine sloppers
a bloom
compiling
bearer
shaders.
from the Black Shores. Didn't expect to meet someone as important as you under these circumstances. I know it's unusual, but could you help me out now that we're working together?
Although I haven't decided if I want to join the Black Shores.
Really? But Uncle mentions you'll be joining soon.
Can you explain what's going on first?
Actually, we're monitoring abnormal parameters and detected a problematic frequency that needs to be taken back to the Black Shores. The port city of Guishu was decimated by the lament. If this frequency goes unchecked, it could trigger another catastrophe.
Are the stakes really that high?
Yes. That's why the Tethys system sent us to locate and recover this frequency as soon as possible, to prevent a
Tethys.
potential disaster. Our agents relayed the coordinates, but
You're flying a drone there
since
or
then
something?
I've lost contact with them, which doesn't sit well. I'm stuck here monitoring, can't leave my post. Do you think you could help check out what happened?
Yeah, man, I want to see more
If
British
things aren't looking
VAs. I
good,
do.
We might need to inform Jinjo City Hall, like we did before.
We'll need to act fast then.
Saying that, I think Shorekeeper's VA's Irish, isn't
That's
she?
the worst case scenario. If we contain the frequencies that Tethys system advises, nothing bad will happen.
I want to help her. As an outrider, it's my duty to safeguard the peace.
Guess I'll take charge, no surprise there. You're right, we can't just sit this out.
Thank you. It's reassuring to have a Midnight Ranger with us. I'll send you the coordinates of the abnormal frequency.
By the way, what do you mean by abnormal frequency?
Could be the reverberations or something in the sonorospheres. In Solaris, frequencies can be anything. One thing's for sure though. This frequency represents gravity. It's abnormal because it has its own gravitational center. You should be able to feel a palpable anomaly near it. That's how you can locate it. I trust you'll handle it smoothly, but remember, your safety matters most. Don't hesitate to retreat if you run into any real danger. And once you're back, we'll hurry to the Black Shores to upload it to the Tethys system. Oh, I forgot you haven't been to the Black Shores, have you?
Not yet.
No worries. I'll be your guide then.
Okay. Okay. Naruto runs back. Everybody in the Black Shores is British, innit? Aren't they?
sense the presence of tacit discords below.
Felt like I'm gonna sneeze again.
What's the big deal? Just some pawns. I won't even break a sweat.
Something feels different about them. Be
Let's have a
careful.
look. Let's have a look then, shall we?
Here comes Master Yi.
Just froze your mates, bro.
Together we vanish. Others incinerate.
I ain't caught one of these, lollipops for a while. On traffic lights.
Be reduced to cinders.
We're gonna down all bloated then, are we? Is that what we're doing? What's that?
What? Look for survivors, quick! It's too late.
Toast. The brown bread.
So they're the agents Nia was waiting for.
What happened here?
The fuck's that? We?
Time is running out. Hoda. My name is Hoda.
Hello there.
This is my name. I once lived under it as a bloom bearer.
Is this your doom with the bloom bearers?
Which one of us are you talking to? Men or women? Elders or children?
I think there might be something wrong with her, guys. Call it intuition. Got an eye for these things. I've conveniently forgot.
No. They want you to become a part of them. I can't let it happen. Run! What you seek is on the girl. She has it.
Ugh, what does any of this have to do with me?
Where did it go? No, wait! Don't go over there.
Found it was the gravitational center we're looking for.
The remaining frequency there is in extreme chaos. It's dangerous.
Hold on! Hey, what's happening? It's starting to glow! It must be from the Black Shores. Look at this!
Mysterious object pulses with rhythmic light. Oh, fuck, I missed it. Seemingly something or another.
I need to learn more about this thing. My master and I guessed it's from the Black Shores, and now it looks like we were right.
I do like Yuu's design. I like the colour palette, the details.
Now it's hiding in this object, but I can still feel its strong attachment to the Black Shores. Solving this issue is beyond our capabilities. Besides, they also mentioned Rover and the fall of the port city of Guishu.
We should meet with that bloom bearer first and explain the situation. This is best left to the experts.
You're right, we need to keep her informed.
Let's go. I have a bad feeling about this.
I think she's had her actual voice. Yeah, yeah.
Port city of Guishu must hold secrets waiting to be discovered.
As the group moves forward, Yang Yang informs the Midnight Rangers the situation. Fucking hell, man, I can't read that quick! Swan dive.
Whoa.
Thanks.
She's like, fuck the kid. I don't know you, kid. Oh, is that Shorekeeper? Domain expansion. She's gorgeous though, isn't she?
Welcome home.
Never seen a bunch of people more suitably dressed for this level of danger. It's sportswear. it's free, it's flexible, you know? Well, it's for agility. And the wow factor. That was a little jarring.
The wandering traveler. At last, you have returned. Here, the story both ends and begins anew. I am pleased to see you back on these shores. Wherever you venture, be it Huanglong or Rinasita, I will always be here, waiting.
So it seems like that is going to be the new area that we go to, yeah, the new nation.
No matter how far you wander, you will always find me here, on these black shores.
Do you reckon that's going to have some basis in the real world, kind of like Genshin? Nah, male MC is the way. You're tripping. That's just objectively wrong. Should be ashamed of yourself. See, look, I just feel like this area, yeah, it feels like it's gorgeous. Ray trace me, baby. Ray trace me. When's that coming? You know, when's it happening? Thick fog blocks the way. Not that thick. So I'm just having a little look around. It's pretty. It's pretty. I like it's pretty. It's 4 o'clock. I'll stop reacting to videos for so long.
Make it fast. Guests of the unkind.
Leave it to me.
I still need to have a look at the kid again. We didn't even bother to have a look at the kid. Plus, she's super low level, so there's probably not much reason using her at the minute because she's like level 14. So she's not going to do damage at all to these guys.
Leave it to me.
Just for healing, you know?
Huge bird now.
What's that?
How do you like these?
Give me that. See, like all this, it feels like this is this area. I don't understand why we didn't get ray tracing on this update. Obviously, it's probably not ready, but it's like, you know, like all of these areas feel like, dude, turn the ray tracing on, man. It's looking gorgeous. It looks gorgeous, full stop. But yeah. Yeah, I might just pop Verena back in for the time being because she's oh shit. She's what citizen she? She's very low level at the moment, so and again though, she's okay for the hills.
The lands of Jinzhou are filled with riches.
Is it that? No, is that what I need? Is that a material? It's a material, yeah, that.
Understood.
Is it?
I am here to serve your will.
Yeah, Nova. Okay, and we need to go fight the what's he called now? The boss. Fallacy and no return.
Soar against the winds.
More of them lying around. That wants me to go.
Onwards.
Loramba. This area is very, very nice looking though.
Finally out of the cave. But why is the fog still so thick? I can't even see you.
Because you're at Veiled Rock. Your vision is veiled.
Is that Alto?
Now, how about explaining what brings you here, uninvited guests? What?
2.0, you reckon?
Is it really you? No. Don't let this be a dream. At last! You've come to me! To the Black Shores! Precisely! But how did you manage to get here?
You can't do all the events that led you to your arrival here.
I see. The situation doesn't look good. That Hoda might not be one of us. But I'm
Hoda.
curious. Could I have a look at that item the antique dealer gave you? Huh. Didn't expect to see it outside Mount Firmament.
What is it?
A monitoring register. We Black Shores members place these around the world to keep an eye on the Sentinels. If anything happens to them, we'll know immediately. Looks like it was also used to record abnormal frequencies in the port city of Guishu.
Why was it brought here? Titties.
Maybe the Tethys system has a soft spot for you. But without more details, I can't say for sure. Since your arrival, has anything unusual caught your eye?
You tell Alto about the person you met on the beach.
A person in light blue. Huh. Could it be the shorekeeper?
The shorekeeper?
Yes. The elusive guardian of the Black Shores, who is said to be always watching our true leader, shielding us from danger. It seems you had quite the encounter. In times of great adversity, the shorekeeper will reveal herself and support our true leader, who, at the destined moment,
It's the
will rise to save
the space for
and guide the
JJ
Black
for your
Shores.
pools, yeah. In the sky.
Fantastical or not,
Somebody's over there
that's
losing the
all we've got to
50-50
go
now.
on. There must be a reason she went to such lengths for you. Anyway, let's not get carried away. We should head to the greenhouse. The abnormal frequency you collected needs to be uploaded to the Tethys system as soon as possible.
Oh,
in order to avoid another lament in the port city of Guizhou.
Makes me yawn.
Given that we've already lost enough of our own to it, we need more bloom bearers to handle this. As for the information you're after, it's already spread this far. Seems like the Tethys malfunction is getting worse. We need to hurry. Time is one luxury we do not have. Let's save the rest for the road.
The Black Shores, to the shore's end. Oh, mate. I want to look around for them Novas over here as well. This. Go water the flowers, bitch. Hey, Kuroro. They're like Kurobots, aren't they? Yeah, look, over there. Someone's literally pulling for shorekeeper right now and losing the 50-50. Oh, stuck. Oh, shit. Oh, I thought I did that then. Okay.
Hey, can you hear me?
Wasn't me.
You, Rover? Are you okay? We couldn't reach you for so long. Yang was freaking out. Someone must have teleported us away from the port city of Guizhou when things went south.
Oh, these here as well?
You know, in the blink of an eye, we were back in Jinzhou.
Oh.
Hey, is that the sea behind you?
Comms dead? Don't worry. That happens a lot around here.
Kumuni. Although I've told you before, when it comes to the classic games on the TR-1200, you don't stand a chance against me. Not in the slightest. Is that a talking robot?
Well, in a sense, yes. They're directly linked to the Tethys system. Their voice frequencies are encoded into languages we can understand. If you think about it, they could be considered a unique living race of their own.
I've got the music down kind of low, but it sounds kind of nice. Sounds almost like a 16-bit music.
As a supercomputer, the Black Shores relies on its calculations to observe, forewarn, and solve anything lament related. Anyway,
I just noticed Alto's got kind of big ears, isn't he?
They manage to cash flow and keep tabs on robot terminals across the region. They're the shrewd profiteer of the Black Shores.
So Nanami was in one of these, yeah, I think. The stacking those chips for the Black Shores.
Easy there. Let's get back to business. The recent quake stirred up Tacitite's interference. How's your underground connection holding?
Rock solid. As long as Tethys is up, we're wired tight.
That's comforting. Hey, you could give the abnormal frequency to Coup Money. They'll handle the upload.
Hand out. Okay. I didn't want to read it anyway. This is a new rookie. You've got skills. If you snag that abnormal frequency from the port of Guizhou, is it Guizhou? Guizhou? Yeah, whatever. I don't underestimate you.
How's the upload? Already sent the data back to Tethys?
Words. Hey, yo, guys, as well, quick little thing. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to drop a like on the video as well. Little plug also. I did upload a video early. You should check it out. It's very much appreciated. So yeah, if you are watching the stream on the tubes, drop a like. Drop a like. All done. What's going on, Alto? I've never seen you this serious.
The Tethys system has been shaky lately. You've noticed, right? What's worse, along with the data, we've received some terrible news. The bloom bearers we sent to the port city Guizhou.
Guizhou, that's it.
We lost them all.
How did that happen? What happened in that city?
Since you're linked to the Tethys' databank, can you check if there's a bloom bearer named Hoda registered? She might have something to do with the deaths of our people.
She seems to be able to control gravity. She referred to herself as we. She also seemed like she was being controlled somewhat, didn't she? A bloom bearer whose forte is controlling gravity. I've checked all records of both resonators and bloom bearers, but I didn't find anyone matching your description. I haven't heard of anyone with such an ability either. Gravity control sounds far-fetched. I'd sooner believe in someone minting shell credits. Unlikely that exists in any universe.
Well, it's a big world after all. Since we already know someone who could resonate with a sentinel, you never know.
Almost forgot. Here, take this. What you got for me, fella? What do you just give me? Yeah, I need to turn the music up in a second. Sorry? Each Black Shores member is allocated a specific fund and this is yours. Find me when you burn through it all.
That's not fair. You've never given me that much before.
I deducted the money you lost to me in games. It was all you had left. Oh, by the way, are you heading to the greenhouse? If a bloom bearer dies outside the Black Shores, we bring their body back and keep Monica in the loop. Oh, we need to send out a warning as usual. There's still a lot to do.
Kumani is right. Just in case, the Tethys system is very likely to send out a warning to Jinzhou about an imminent lament in the port city of Guishu.
So the lament is, it can be something that's global, but it can happen in specific areas as well, yeah. Because like I was curious about that, like are we going to go to areas that aren't ravaged by the lament, you know what I mean? That don't have that post-apocalyptic vibe to them.
As for Hoda, if she's a bloom bearer, there should be a record of her in the system.
Oh no!
And if such a resonator existed, the Black Shores would definitely know. Hold on. There's another possibility.
She's not from the Black Shores.
Yeah, that's one possibility. Not to worry, if the machine route doesn't work, there's another way. Let's go to the greenhouse. Most of us like to gather
I
there.
quite like Aldo's
And
design, though,
Monica,
I do.
Our chief administrator is stationed there as well.
Okay. Yeah, let's get the music up a little bit quiet. It does sound nice. Optional ask Alto about the robots as well while we're here, aren't we?
Hey, what's in your mind?
Can robots grow a desire for money too?
You ever play those RPGs? Each character's got a backstory, right? Well, these robots are no different. The Tethys system gives them all their own personalities. Take Kumani, for instance. Tethys programmed it to be a crafty deal maker. Who knows? Maybe one day, you'll come across a robot you really click with. Once you're ready, we'll head over to the greenhouse and meet Monica.
Okay. Alright, done.
Understood.
Yeah, we definitely need. We've got to get leveled up because at the minute she is lacking. Dude, we might have to get Marina on for some stuff, maybe. What's that? Little charge station. And she got good posture.
Alto, there you are. And this is...
The rover just arrived. She's the one we invited earlier. The mysterious resonator who appeared in Jinzhou.
So you're the resonator who confronted the Threnodian. I honestly didn't expect to meet you in person. Sorry, I got a bit carried away. My name's Monica, the chief administrator, or housekeeper around here. I was supposed to show you around, but things are quite hectic right now. My apologies.
Looked like she was standing around to me.
You heard about what happened in Guishu, right?
Yes, we received word from Jinzhou City Hall about their actions. We also alerted them to the Tethys system's likely warning of a potential lament in the port city of Guishu. The data you brought back has been uploaded to the system, but as you know, Tethys has been unstable.
So the problem isn't solved.
Exactly. We need Tethys functioning normally to fully resolve this.
Look at the moon.
But retrieving the abnormal frequency was a significant step forward. Those bloom bearers didn't sacrifice themselves in vain. It could have been much worse if they hadn't risked their lives to transmit the coordinates back to Nia. And thank you for risking your life to retrieve the data.
What's the current situation?
Efforts to stabilize the Tethys system are underway.
Good to hear. By the way, since you deal with all our contacts, does the name Hoda ring any bells? She claims to be a bloom bearer.
Hoda? No, I don't recall any bloom bearer by that name.
Hoda?
Why do you ask? So this is related to that abnormal frequency.
Maybe. She's a traitor.
That theory doesn't hold water. Not only are traitors incredibly rare in our history, they're all documented. And there is no record of her in the system. Was she trying to mislead us?
I mean, y'all. She told me I was once part of the Black Shores.
That's strange. Because we just added you to the recruitment list recently.
Yeah, she's quite the mystery. Monica, can you try to gather more info about this Hoda for us?
Of course. If it concerns the security of the Black Shores, it's my job. If this person was truly residing in that abnormal frequency, she could be responsible for those deaths.
She was residing in that abnormal frequency. You can't level up until you complete the MSQ. Oh, really? Yeah, I'll switch it back to Verena then for a bit. Did we just upload it, though?
Damn it! We've been tricked! We just fed it back into Tethys.
Careful!
Oh, I was hoping you'd take it back. Okay. Scammed.
Well, looks like she's made herself at home in Tethys.
I'll check with Kumani to assess the current situation underground. We need to do everything in our power to protect Tethys from any harm. Could you please accompany Alto to the greenhouse? We need you to find the WuWa robots. Also, ensure the modulation device in the greenhouse remains secure. I'm sorry. You were meant to have a pleasant time here. When the dust clears, I'd like to formally welcome you to join us.
Yeah, baby. I do like that though. I do like that. I love her design as well, man. She, like, I wasn't sold on her design when I first saw her. She does look gorgeous in game, doesn't she? She is beautiful. The color palette, everything, the like, the sheen that moves down her outfit, like, The butterfly. The detail on the headdress, whatever you want to call that. I don't know what the frick you'd call it. It looks like a do-rag, really, that she just hasn't tied up. You know? Gonna get them waves. Oh, what have we got to do here? I'll make contact with Yang Yang.
Finally got through. Hey, you scared us to death.
So as the Tacitite's interference was too strong, I'm in the Black Shores now.
Glad to know you're all right.
Shia, is that you?
Yeah. Just so you know, we got the Black Shores warning, so we cranked up the defenses in Jinzhou. The Midnight Rangers are preparing to secure the port city of Guishu, and as for the balloon bearers who have passed, we'll bring their bodies back to the Black Shores. I know the Black Shores hold many answers for you. Your memories, your past, though the road ahead is uncertain. I hope you find the truth you seek. And please remember, you never have to bear the weight alone. We are here with you. Always.
Yeah, Yang Yang sounds so much better now, doesn't she? Let's get the optionals out the way as well, haven't we? I thought an intel broker like you always stays cool-headed.
I'm frustrated with myself. Got too carried away by your presence to think straight. I thought we could easily resolve that issue by uploading the data you brought back to the system. Never considered the possibility of an infiltrator lurking inside. We need to figure out who's behind all this.
Does the Tethys system mean that much to the Black Shores?
Yeah. The Black Shore's every move hinges on its decisions, big or small. Without Tethys, it'd just be a barren Tacitite. And if you're after the truth, you'll need its assistance too.
Should I do now?
Actually, Money, Monica, and I don't have top clearance to the Tethys system. Our access is limited. With higher clearance, you could uncover the answers you're looking for. All right, let's pick up the pace. We need to find the Water siblings and check on the modulation device. This is your chance to
Well, I
ask
need to see your manager then, don't I?
You want.
Really?
If anyone has answers, it's Tethys. I can't guarantee you'll get everything you're after, but it's worth a shot, right? The greenhouse is just ahead. Let's move.
Okay. 2 seconds. I just need to check something, guys. Sorry about that. Right then, should we switch Verena back in for the time being then? Just for the time being until we can level her up at least anyway.
Hopefully, we'll make new findings.
I need to
we'll make new findings.
I need to get my big boy back. Where is it? Here it is, yeah. Yes, the one. Just for content, just for content. Alright, let's go head to the highest point in the greenhouse. Skybox is gorgeous, by the way. I must say that this game's gorgeous. It is. It's straight up gorgeous. As well, big fan I've said it multiple times. I love Jinx's design. You know, big fan of Changli as well. But like, Jinxie seems to match the Black Shores as well. Quite nice. Very pretty. It's very pretty. Is that the digital fog then? Is that like is that just digital mountains, or is that what it's making it look like through the digital fog? Looks like a cool place to live, actually. Oh, this is where the bigger piano is, yeah. Grow and bloom, my sweet little flowers. It'd be funny if you just went all over her. Don't sneak up on me like that. Are you watering the flowers? Duh. Of course, as a capable gardener, I always give the ultimate care to all these flowers. Planting, watering, pruning, airing, and giving them sunshine. So where's the modulation device? Upstairs. See that piano? That's the modulation device. Oh, hold on. Please plant a flower. What? Plant a flower. In the Black Shores, each member plants a flower here. Most choose flower seeds from their hometown. What flower did Alto plant? What flower did Encore plant? Ooh, yeah, what flower did Camellia plant? That's the question. Camellia, she planted so many, countless. She created an entire garden of flowers. So what kind of flower seed would you like to plant from your hometown? My hometown? I don't remember where I'm from. Oh, so you're a wandering traveller, right? Then a Blake Bloom would probably suit you well. Blake Bloom? Of course, even if you don't remember your hometown, the Black Shores can be your new home. The Blake Blooms we give each member symbolise that. Oh, is that the black petal? I belong here? Yeah, you could say that. Wait, Water, are you feeling that? You're getting the same feeling, right? Yeah, you look familiar, but I can't remember where we met. Request. No response. The Tethys system reacted to your face. Strange. I found a record of you in the system, but it suddenly disappeared. What happened? Why did Tethys suddenly tell us to leave? Alright, let's go. Water. Money is waiting for us. Okay. Okay, see you next time. Under the instruction of the Tethys system, the two robots leave. It seems like the Tethys system is hiding something from you. However, Water and Plant have already departed. Your best course of action now is to inspect the modulation device. Camellia seems deeply connected to flowers. The seed of fate. Maybe she's more like a flower than you realise. It's a big old piano, isn't it? Press the keys.
Do you know how to play the piano?
No, it's doing that all by itself.
I guess the Black Shores have earned their mysterious reputation. They even have a self-playing piano.
Try to touch a key.
So you do know how to play.
Keep touching the keys.
I don't have a musical bone in me, but that sounded good.
Kind of goes against the music, and you got that pretty music there, and then you got Abby with her 20 cigarettes a day freaking voice. It sounds familiar.
In every sound and frequency lies an emotion. Just like this. Expressing what's on your mind through music. It's something even you can do.
Rova does.
You'll give it a try, won't you?
Hey, wake up!
She sounded much better there, a lot more expressive. Did I just see?
What? It's just been the two of us here this whole time. Whoa! Another earthquake! What's happening? Run! We need to get out of here!
Smash strikes, baby! What's this here? It looks like just an ordinary tree, but it seems Alto took the liberty of naming it the money tree. Of course, that's something he would do. Oh, I thought it was water. Water underneath though, isn't it?
Hey Rover, can you hear me? There is a spike in the anchor frequency of the Tethys algorithmic array. It caused other abnormal frequencies to escape. Analysts are still investigating. We're already en route for repairs. Right now, the data stored in Tethys is materializing by drawing energy from the massive tacitite beneath the Black Shores. It's making digital constructs out of real-life entities.
WuWa already logged your info in Tethys. Now you can command the robots across the Black Shores to fix and upload the corrupted data. That'll restore the anchors. We're heading to Veiled Rock's anchor. Rover, can you help at the Haven of Sprouts? It's our
Haven of Sprouts.
I'll be helping with the repair at Veiled Rock. Such a pity I won't be there to witness Jinjo's savior in action once more. No, I'll miss seeing my friend in action again.
Oh, maybe that's why you saw the other you in that vision. I'm so sleepy.
Tethys Terminal. You're finally here. Hi, I'm Kuki. Tethys sent me to assist you. Welcome to the Haven of Sprouts, where the Black Shores members live and rest. The anchor here is our communication hub linking all beacons worldwide. Currently, the leaked corrupted data has been spreading, but time is on our side and our agents are on it. Damage control is already underway. Okay, tell me how I can help. Right, since we're connected to the Tethys system, I'll give you... But for it to work, you can't go too far from me. There's a distance limit. Oh, almost forgot. Do not touch the corrupted data. They still pose a threat. I see some nearby. Why don't you start your housekeeping over there? I'll kick some ass. I'll follow you. Just aim and boom. Easy peasy. Key top clearance activated. Top clearance? Clearance is issued. Please proceed. Alright, you know what though, guys? Didn't get much done. I'm gonna have to call it though. I'm gonna have to call it. Again, I gotta go get Rosie from work. But I do plan to double dip tonight. And even if I don't double dip tonight, I will be live all day tomorrow. Rosie's going down the caravan with the mum and dad tomorrow. So, hey, you know, when the boss is away and all that. Or when the cat is away, should I say. I'll play video games. So, yeah, I do plan to get back tonight. If we do, we'll probably play some of this and then we'll play something else, maybe a bit of Throne and Liberty, because I do really want to play Throne and Liberty, but I'm getting, you know, new bit of the game to play. But if not, if we just play some Throne and Liberty tonight, maybe we'll just bash this all day tomorrow and get through a bunch of the content. I do want to play some PGR as well. We do want to get on some Zenly Zone Zero also as well. So hopefully over the weekend, we'll do a little bit of all three of those. And then next week, more of this, more of Zenly Zone Zero. And we are going to hop back onto Tower of Fantasy as well. It's been a hot minute, but I do want to get through the content on that as well, because I was enjoying the game. And, yeah, we've got plenty of stuff to be doing, actually. I do want to start Sword of Convaleria as well, because I've been playing it on the phone. I like the game. I like the battle system. It's kind of a little bit, I guess, like Final Fantasy Tactics. I know it might not be for everybody, but we're going to stream that. So, guys, thank you very much for hanging out today. I'll have another video up probably tomorrow now. Yeah, we're back to the dailies now. Getting the dailies on the go. Doing our thing. So, appreciate everybody who's been coming through the last couple of days. Now we're getting back onto it because we had like a week off, didn't we? Streaming, I think it was last Friday when I streamed last, wasn't it? Since yesterday. Yeah, appreciate you guys as well. If you are watching on YouTube, be sure to drop a like on the video, on the stream as well. Link at both, top of both chats, the pinned comment, guys. Check the video out. Let me know what you think. Skins coming to the battle pass, all that good stuff. Information about Wuthering Waves, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. All right. If I don't see you later, have an amazing rest of your Friday. Yo, Jamie, what's up, bro? I'll catch you later as well. Yeah, so yeah, if I don't see you later, guys, have a great Friday. Love your faces, and ta-ra.